Commander Lithorbreaker, the Hutton prognosticator, has warned of some upcoming weird goings-on, not just here, but in LHS 340, which Commander Hutton is determined to investigate. We take these things seriously at Hutton, because not much happens out here and it gives us something to do. In preparation for the foretold spooky goings-on, we have put together a crack team, I think that's the word, of paranormal investigators from Hutton Orbital, and will be heading out there shortly in an effort to solve the mystery once it happens. Now, the team includes that old lady from the parade who reads your fortune for 10 credits. She gets them off Galnet, you know.
No, I don't.
The weird-looking guy who hangs around at McThargoid's offering to rebalance people's chakras.
No, I don't.
A budget clones for you Super Saver clone who was decanted too early and swears she could talk to Trumbles.
I can, you know.
And friend Frederico who hasn't moved, blinked or spoken since 3301.
No, you haven't.
Led by Commander Slip Digby, the team will conduct a scientific survey of the site to ensure that the truth comes out. Digby said, "We are following mystical predictions, but also the science on this one and taking a no-expense-incurred approach. Equipment including a Ouija board, a 5-pack of woodbines,
I'm trying to give them up.
musical instruments made from suggestively shaped vegetables,
I'm trying to give them up.
thermal probinators,
I'm trying to give them up.
a cat that smells of vapour rub, an economy pack of Snuggles McKee's Lucky Charms for protection, an old sofa which someone once dumped, and more hiker tea than I've ever seen in one place has already been loaded in preparation for the journey. The intrepid science team are in high spirits and are preparing a farewell hiker tea ceremony, having dismissed warnings to stay away from the system and the strange goings-on there. We at Hutton News must be more cautious, however, and advise that no commander should approach LHS 340. If you do find yourself in LHS 340, then whatever you do, you should not approach Khan Holdings and investigate what you find there. Harry Balzac, oh, that's me, is expected to be the first commander on site and is soon predicted to lose one of his slippers. That's a nonsense.
Guys, hang on. Did that Ouija board just move? It's spelling something. O-U-R... Mics are live?
Welcome to Hutton News. Next to me is a horrible sanity-destroying visage.
I'm Rudolf Hucker, and on my left I can see the Bride of Frankenstein charging up from a USB socket.
I'm Wilma Fingerdew, and on my left is a face from a haunted mirror.
Thanks. I'm Mia Harkness, and popping through a trapdoor in the floor is a hunchback henchman with a brain in a jar.
I'm Juan Kerr. On my left, the Grey Lady hovers menacingly.
I'm Norma Snuckers, and I have a bad feeling about this.
Has anyone seen my slipper? Had it a minute ago. Oh, someone do the bongs while I look for it.
Now you see it.
Nugget needs a new noggin.
You're bound to warm up if you get your hands on a python.
Rampage prefers people to see him bang.
Haste still pays haste, and leisure answers for leisure. Like doth quit like, and measure still for measure.
Jacques gets to second base, but who's on first?
BGS ipsum lorem dolo sit armet. Oh, bugger.
Community equals opportunity.
First this evening, I've missed this. First this evening, we have a woeful tale of abandonment, of a get-rich-quick scheme gone badly wrong, of prestidigitation and sleight of hand, of the now you see the carrier, now you don't variety, with a side order of grief, misery, missing millions, and a few ships that mysteriously vanish into thin air. As with the film The Prestige, behind every brilliant scientist, behind every mind-boggling feat of magic, misdirection and marvel, there's a dark, dark tale. Hutton's very own mad professor, Professor Eros Madelung, pilot of the FTM Isfahan, galactic wonder seeker and tour bus driver, had poured billions into his flying science lab. Equipped with destination randomizer, voting equipment for the occupants to cast their ballots as to where to head to next, and every kind of scanner, probinator, map-making tool, and wibbly science machinery known to humanity, and a few whose purpose is, as of yet, undetermined, but they're made up of glowing red tubes and pulse mysteriously. The Isfahan, whilst not at the cutting edge of science, certainly qualifies as the blunt instrument of exploration that's sometimes necessary when smashing through new frontiers. But Professor Madelung, living as he does on a stipend from Alvin made up from the tips from the end of the bar, a few coins that fall down the sofa, and whatever's left after all the dog treats have been bought, needed a few bob more for his latest experiments. What anyone needs that many retorts for, and why the bubbling and smoking glassware is absolutely necessary for particle physics is anyone's guess. But Professor Madelung was indeed listening to Hutton's recent broadcasts about the Get Slightly Less Poor Quick scheme foisted on the galaxy by Brewer Corporation's poor marketing decisions. Yes, he flogged the Isfahan. Lock, stock and 2 smoking engines. Having flown it to Deso and offloaded all of his expensive equipment, he sold it back to the Brewer Corporation, hoping to trade it in for exactly the same model, just with a few fewer light years on the clock, and the handle for the glove box fixed after that incident with trying to slam it shut with an illicit case of onion head wedged in the hinge. 1.5 billion credits in the pocket as an incentive will make people make rash decisions. The carrier was duly towed away by a waiting carrier, and a new one installed in orbit around Deso. That would have been the end of the matter, right up until the commander knocked on his cabin door with one simple question. Professor Madelung, where are all my ships? Yes, the Prof had absent-mindedly forgotten that his passengers had stored all of their ships, and their modules, and all of their worldly possessions aboard the Isfahan, which of course had been taken to the wrecker's yard for reclamation and was most likely being crushed in a convenient local singularity before being weighed and sold as raw materials. Those pythons, the anacondas, the odd asp or two, the prismatic shields in storage that took weeks to obtain, Grandma's ashes, the lot, all gone. To say the Prof had an "oh no" second is an understatement. We can imagine the look on his face as he realised that he'd just potentially rendered all of his passengers penniless. But as luck would have it, the authorities at Deso are a kind lot, and had moved the contents into cold storage. We would like to take this opportunity to ask any commanders that left their items unattended in the docking area of the FTM Isfahan to reclaim them as soon as possible, please, from the authorities at Deso. Eros has offered to buy a couple of beers for the affected commanders just as soon as fleet carriers get a bar that's accessible on foot.
Hutton Orbital Incident Report Form. Incident location, LHS 449. Date and time of incident, 9:17 hours, 27th October, 3307. Reporting officer, Mia Harkness. Circulate to His Fluffiness Alvin De Fear and Progenitor Leo Wolf. type of incident, traffic and property damage, type of damage, life and ship. So it was a chilly October morning and Commander Count Nugget, long-time friend of and source of many rumours about Commander Deadmeat GF, accepted a mission to eliminate scavengers terrorising the Chew biochemical institution in the LHS 449 system. She requisitioned an Apex taxi and, climbing into her dominatrix suit, enjoyed some relaxing and occasionally risque banter with the pilot during the short trip. Shortly before landing, knowing the mission was all about combat, she switched to her more practical Dominator suit and disembarked to set about her mission with a sense of purpose and a slight regret that she'd not used the lavatorial facilities aboard the taxi. The mission was relatively uneventful. Well, for Count Nugget, the events for the scavengers were somewhat fatal. Happy with the results, she hailed an Apex, which dropped into the system just before morning tea break time. With her bladder on critical and desperate to get into the little commander's room, Count Nugget foolishly decided that she would be able to board the taxi and therefore relieve herself somewhat quicker as she jumped onto the nose of the adder and swung into the airlock as it landed. Now, unfortunately, probably due to a lack of concentration brought on by what was now borderline incontinence, she was slightly off her aim and just at the peak of her jump took an adder to the face with the expected disastrous consequences. Hutton Orbital would like to apologise for any damage to the undercarriage of the adder, the loss of taxi fare for the pilot, and any cleaning bills incurred by either the taxi or the landing pad owner due to the final act of the stricken commander being, well, pureed, really.
The Python. Everyone's favourite ship. The ultimate space multi-tool for the commander that just wants one ship to do absolutely everything. A quick jaunt over to Colonia? Bit of a how's your shield holding up in a local Hazrad site? A bevy of pushy passengers positively prodding every possible nerve by demanding that you stop and pick them up a 6-pack of Giza beer and some pork scratchings or they won't pay you for the transportation fee? Sorted. Need something to transport you to the next derelict settlement that's just begging to be emptied of all the stuff lying around with someone else's name on it? Yes, a Python is the thing for you. What's more, it can be loaded up to the brim with rares. Yes, we know that you prefer your Lacons. After all, you're truckers. But you'll be flying your Type 7 and thinking about the Python. With the latest round of ship improvements and updates released by the Pirate Pilots Federation in the last week, the ultimate ship has got even more ultimate with the addition of new cockpit glass. The would be named after a primate, but that would be a copyright infringement. Cockpit safety glass has been replaced free of charge. Your new cockpit windows have a built-in heating element that just refuses to frost up, even on the dark side of the coldest moons. And what's more, it can't be cracked. No more crazy paved view, no more smashy damage from your latest dirty Hober nose first it's not combat unless you can see the whites of their eyes combat maneuver. Of course, it's not made of indestructium, that mythical material that the PF use for nav beacons, or the little projectors outside space stations. That stuff's not transparent. But it's the next best thing, right up until until it actually smashes. Without warning. It goes from fine to where's my oxygen gone in a fraction of a second. There are rumours that there will be a safety recall in coming weeks to bring back the school safety shatterproof ruler effect that crazy paves your view as a warning that you shouldn't headbutt things that are harder than you. But, in the meantime, enjoy your uninterrupted view, and if you need to keep your hands warm on a cold day, just lean forward and place them on the screen. Guaranteed frostbite free.
After numerous complaints that commanders venturing out on foot weren't getting enough bang for their bucks out of rocket launchers, the Pilots Federation have provided a free update to everyone's favourite off-the-shoulder rocket holder. Yes, the payload now comes with a free munition-mounted 3D printer and paintball load. Not content with redecorating the scenery with pieces of hapless scavenger, you can now see exactly where you've fired your oversized compensator with wall and scenery mounted damage indicators that resemble the splashback from a particularly explosive visit to Cubicle 3. The area will be liberally peppered with scorch marks, paint applied to cunningly resemble holes. We've all seen that Roadrunner cartoon with the paint pot on the oncoming train, and even patented 3D style battle damage. There are rumours that scavengers have fitted anti-graffiti systems to their own weaponry and do a discreet tidy up after you've left, scrubbing the walls clean and removing any naughty marks that you've left around the place, leaving them once again pristine and ready for the next rotten robber to drop in and pick up all the bits that they carefully left lying around the place as an excuse to engage you in combat.
Back onto the subject of fleet carriers briefly. Whilst we do our best not to report things that might cause a bit of a hoo-ha, Hutton has been accused of causing a little bit of confusion with a recent news article. It appears that the Brewer Corporation's engineering team are indeed fans of this very radio show, and rather than taking the things that we report with rather large Type 9-sized pinch of salt, they have treated it as the gospel according to Alvin, or rather as if handed down on tablets of stone. Yes, the Hutton new measurement system, as reported in recent weeks, appears to have been adopted by engineers responsible for the mass calculations of shipyards and components aboard the fleet carriers. Adopting the one, too many shitloads approach, they have rather lackadaisically just marked the massive ships as shitloads, but denoting the available storage spaces as having an availability of many, meaning that commanders began seeing reports of negative quantities on board their carriers. Accuracy appeared to have gone out of the window when both the mass of the carrier, the mass of the Anacondas that the carrier was carrying, and the mass of the components that the Anaconda was carrying aboard the carrier were all reported using the same unit, and what's more, they forgot to carry the one. A notice has been issued to all Brewer Corporation staff reminding them that the standard unit of measurement for carriers is based on the ton, which of course can be subdivided into the kilogram and gram. Definitely not the ounce, pound, stone, or indeed any of the Hutton measurements, and definitely not the archaic measurements used by the night shift. Many doesn't sufficiently differentiate from lots or even shitloads when it comes to adding up exactly how many grams per square centimetre the load on the deck is when you're trying to lower your asp into the repair bay. Of course, Hutton truckers are still allowed to use their standard measurements when in Hutton space, but that's because we don't have a fleet carrier administration office anywhere in Alvin's domain, and it is still acceptable to reply to the question, "How big is my ask?" but with the words, and it's a big but, "funking massive."
With the recent appointment of 4 new engineers in the galaxy, all based out in Colonia, and the addition of social spaces to certain landable megaships, we have it on reliable authority that there are 7, but not the Gnosis, any of the prison ships, or indeed fleet carriers. There is still one burning question. Where's Jacques?
In Colonia.
We know that bit, but Jacques is a barman, a cyborg barman, so where's Jacques' bar?
In Colonia.
Yes, his bar is in Colonia, but given that Jacques is a barman with a bar in a station with his name on it, where exactly can one find Jacques when one is on foot?
He is in Colonia!
Not sure you're understanding the question. If Jacques, who is a cyborg and is a barman in his own bar, in his own station, which has a social space that contains a bar and a barman, exists, where can someone who is looking for Jacques actually find Jacques?
I'm not confused at all. He's in Colonia with all those new engineers. They're all in Colonia.
Oh, but where?
Colonia!
Where in Colonia?
Well, don't ask me, I'm not in Colonia. But he's definitely in Colonia, without any question.
How do you know?
Well, his name's on the station that says Jacques, so that's definitely where Jacques is.
I'm not sure I follow your logic. If I go to Big Harry's monkey hideout, are you saying I'd find Big Harry and his monkey?
Haven't got a clue. It's not in Colonia, though, I can tell you that.
But Jacques is.
Yeah.
I'm glad we cleared that up. So, Jacques, he's in Colonia. You just can't see him, but you can go and meet the new engineers there.
Where?
Colonia.
Incoming encrypted transmission. Decrypting. Decryption complete.
Stand by for a message from Haxcom Actual.
Okay, Haxwing. Tharg apparently decided he's ready to get punched in the mandibles again. This time he's hit 2 systems in the Pleiades, Astro, Pleiades Sector PDS B40, and 6 in the Witchhead Nebula. Shenvi, Evangelus, Lembus, Hockey, Wellington, and Oneros. The plan is to push the Goids out of the Pleiades systems first, starting with Astro. Check the AXI Defense Targets channel on Discord for updates and priorities. Each attack system has a damaged starport needing evacuation and emergency supplies. These stations are Copernicus Observatory, Ayushu Dock, Con Relay, Ezra Point, Hannah Enterprise, Carrion Vision, Hutton Orbital, and Sao Prospect. Search and rescue pilots are asked to pick up evacuees in the passenger lounges, as well as rescue any occupied escape pods in the docking barrels of each station. Haxcom's new flagship, the Fleet Carrier FTM Fellowship, will be stationed initially in the Pleiades region and then relocate to the Witchhead once operations transition. The Fellowship is open to all for repairs and rearming. For anyone new to Thargoid combat, make sure you bring your best engineered combat ship armed with Guardian weapons for interceptors, or at least Aegis AX multi-cannons for fighting scouts. You can find targets in non-human signal sources, or look for the AX conflict zones to fight off multiple waves of scouts and interceptors. If you are doing rescue operations, fill your ship with economy cabins and at least one heat sink launcher. It gets hot in those burning stations. Once we have these systems under control and the station fires are out, remember that Operation Ida is going to need help hauling the millions of tons needed to repair these 8 damaged stations. There's something for all of us to do in this conflict, truckers. Stay safe out there, keep an eye on the signal sources, and always be ready to defend the mug.
Haxcom message complete. Defend the mug.
Encrypted transmission complete.
And now, it's time for the hot pit bit with me, Juan Kerr. Before I get to the meaty bit of this week's update, I'd like to reassure everyone that the situation in Haghole has resolved itself. Earlier in the week, it was reported that things are a little dry in the Haghole. In fact, so dry that the Haghole was described in local news bulletins as suffering from a bit of a drought. We're delighted to report that after the liberal application of a lot of lubrication, the Haghole is now back to normal, as it were. Here at Hutton, the future is blue, and the future is most definitely not orange. A calming sea of azure blue laps the master control threatboard here in the Hutton Situation Room. There are no adverse states and none pending in any of the Hutton systems, and everywhere is happy. A couple of systems have outdone themselves. That's elated. But steady on, people. Pace yourselves. Keep calm, and there's no need to be excitable. 4 systems are in the BGS basement this week, and that old perennial procrastinator Barnard Star has slipped a point to 34% to once more take this week's wooden spoon. No other factions are in conflict, so this is an ideal time to get into Barnard's Star and raise the influence. And as sure as large leathery eggs are, well, large leathery eggs, you can bet that they're not far away from another round of bickering, tying up buckets of influence, so get in there and truck that influence. Joining it on 37% is Y0755-0855-0714, Epsilon Eridani on 38, and Avic on 39, which recovered nicely during the week, putting 10 points of daylight between Hutton and Sirius Corporation in second place. Well done to those commanders that put in a few shifts, although looking at the mission points it looked like you knocked off a bit early. At the top end of the systems league, we only have 5 systems above 60% and none above 70%, so it looks like that azure blue is really calming. Meanwhile, in Colonia, we've just had a very, very late update from Arch King Hanky, Grand Kazi of all the Colonias, and that is to work in tier in the election against Jacques. But if you're feeling particularly energetic, you can have a bash at clearing both the civil unrest and the blight in tier. I bet he said that from Nando's. Priorities this week are, if you want to truck something, boost Hutton influence in Barnard's Star whilst there are no ongoing conflicts.
Never let it be said that there's nothing to do in this galaxy of ours. The community members are always organising extra events, and here's news of just some of them. As usual, links will be posted in Twitch chat and also in the description of the YouTube upload. Despite my pleas to leave the Thargoids alone, Commander Hunter reports that last weekend's anti-Xeno tutorial event went well.
It was a busy weekend in Delphi where the anti-Xeno event took place. A lot of pilots, new and veteran alike, have gotten a taste of what it's like to be an AX pilot. Many bugs were squished and many ships had to be cleaned. Next month, another €5 tour. More information will follow next week.
The fleet carrier Konsu is still making its way along the 124 waypoints of the Cannon Challenge, carrying armchair explorers through the galaxy, and Commander Mephisto has put down his Megajin to send us this update.
The comfy cannon crews visited 3 waypoints last week, making more way towards the centre of our galaxy. By now, the expedition has covered 2/3 of its 129 waypoints in 7.5 months. Number 84 featured Q01 type anomalies, which emit a blue glow and zap the ship when approached. That tickles. There were also calcite plates of different varieties floating around Luteolum, Lindigoticum, and Viride. At waypoints 85 and 86, anomalies of types Echo 01 and Lima 03 respectively could be seen. The former shows mesmerizing cloud patterns in green hues. The latter is a swirl of light surrounded by twinkles. Waypoint 86 is also an impressive and beautiful system, with a black hole as the main body and ringed brown dwarfs with many moons orbiting it, all lying in a blue dust cloud. Here, the generous Commander Illyrium, his clone Commander Ilwanrium, is a cruise passenger, already weighted with his fleet carrier Angel's Share, full of precious tritium, to refuel Konsu. In record time, over 17,000 tons of fleet carrier fuel were moved. Now, with a full tank, Konsu will resume course, probably tomorrow, going far southeast.
The Wild Wild West expedition is staying true to the pioneering spirit of its title, and Commander Airman Dan has sent us this telegram.
Wild Wild West wanders off the deep end. The Wild Wild West expedition has arrived at Ericsson's star, the superlative tip of the westernmost spiral arm of the galaxy, where the stars wink out into blackness and the echo of the void is deafening. This week, a number of intrepid commanders navigated at the absolute upper limits of frameshift technology to reach this desolate and remote patch of red dust, manually plotting dozens of jumps beyond the capabilities of even the most advanced of ship's computer. Officially marking the halfway point of the expedition, the crew will regroup at the DSSA Hope Dempsey for one last time before beginning the long trek down the western edge of the galaxy towards V1357 Cygni. Next week, the expedition will crowdsource its 11th waypoint, with Commander Airman Dan hosting a live-stream Twitch event in which expedition members and guest viewers can provide direction to locate and navigate to the as-yet uncharted 11th stop of the journey. This unique opportunity to democratically select a waypoint has never been attempted in an official non-Hutton expedition before, the FTM Isfahan Mark I having been doing for ages until the unfortunate accident at Deso. And Commander Airman Dan reports excitement at the prospect of expedition pioneers using their knowledge to inform their choices in search of the trek's next stopover.
Expedition All the Clouds in the Sky does not currently have the solar wind filling its sails, and Commander Deluvian tells us what happened.
It's been 44 days in space. The crew is mostly dormant, and I have to admit, I also have found it hard to spend time on navigating the fleet carrier Zodiac and moving forward. There is some progress, but we have not reached the Formidine Rift. Whenever I actually had time to fly, I relearned how to enjoy simple exploration. Searching for a good mining spot, as we are still concerned about the fuel, I took my DBX Pilgrim for a spin and started scouting from the system to look at those pristine icy rings. It feels just right when you arrive into the system and you realize that nobody has been there before. Sometimes I could not believe it myself, but indeed this is not the busiest part of the galaxy. So yes, there will be a couple of systems with my name on it. Commanders Dracomenda and D. Rainwater also helped whenever they could. So you will see their names here and there. I kept on jumping ahead, scouting and jumping Zodiac remotely. Draco said it was risky, but fortunately Pilgrim's jump range is in a sweet 70 plus light year range after upgrading the FSD to the latest V1. I am not concerned. And as this is not yet the Rift, there are still plenty of scoopable stars around. Yet again, the crew will have to work on backfilling around 6,000 tons of tritium. We all know that with the current extraction rate, it's not an easy task. There are rumors that you can actually find more tritium in an LTD hotspot. Guess what we've found? Overlapping tritium and LTD hotspots. Happy campers. We are going to test that theory.
The 26th are planning a little bit of a scavenger hunt. They're calling it the Bandit Run, and the idea is to collect 6 items. What they are is to be revealed later, no spoilers. And the place to deliver the bounty will be our very own Hutton Orbital, because, yeah, right, we don't have enough scrap or crap of our own. Commander DB Exterminer says that there are 2 prizes, each of 250 million credits. One for the pilot who makes the fastest delivery of the 6 items to Hutton Orbital, and the second for the pirate that has managed to steal the most cargo from pilots taking part. Rewards will be paid from his carrier, the War Daddy. This will be less Smoking the Bandit meets Cannonball Run and more Avoid Plasma Cannon Run. It takes place on 5th of November from Jackson Lighthouse. More details, the sign up and very importantly the rules are all in their Discord. Could we ask a favour? Would the first pilot to make the trip please bring some milk? We're a little low at the moment and the Kitten brand coffee with a touch of mega gin is a little bitter without it. And finally, the Magellan Experience, an expedition for explorers by explorers. As we mentioned last week, the Independent Explorers Association invites Hutton Orbital Radio to the Magellan Experience, their most ambitious trip to date, covering not only winter but the first part of next year, November 28, 3307 to February 13, 3308. Commander Richard Fluanis M and the team sent this update.
For the Magellan Experience, the expedition route was published and 20 volunteers have been enlisted to scout the 109,000 light-year route. The expedition is 1 month old, but it had a very powerful start with more than 50 people signed up 1 month before it departs.
And that's all the information we have this week about community organised events. If you want yours included, just email itookpart@huttonorbital.com.
And that marks the end of the news section of our show, but don't go anywhere, as we've got loads more content for you. And now, I'm going to have to remember the order of this. Now, we've got some chat. We've got a brand new Galnet News Digest, as long as it hasn't been spoiled on the internet yet already. We've got Flossy's Roundup of the CG News. And then we're going to find out if you've earned a Hutton decal in the Hutton Helper results, which is an entirely new part of the show and completely unlike the sports report or even Hutton's Top Trucker. After that, it's Amelia and the Galnet Rares Digest. Then last, but by no means least, it's over to you as we move to the green room. So remember, if you want to talk to us, point your TeamSpeak client to TS or I'm going to try that one again. Point your TeamSpeak client to ts.forthemug.com and make your way to the green room where you can't hear the show, but you can come and talk to us. So just park your backside in there and we'll wave through the glass later and call you into the studio, whatever we're going to do, and say hi and chat. But first, the other chat.
Seamless.
Yes.
Yay!
Hello.
Hello.
It's you
Hello.
and her and him and them and
Is the green room feed working? Because our radio was... we were late starting, everybody, you'll have noticed, because we had a technical issue. The server that we streamed to died about a minute before we were about to go live.
Hang on, has anyone got the key for the door? I'm just going to pop up there and check. Hang on.
Oh, he's gone.
Lock the door, don't let him out. Lock the door,
testing.
lock the
Can
door.
you hear
His
us?
usual hook.
He's gone
We
down
didn't
there.
have the news going out music. The end of the news music.
We did.
No, I went
did.
through the green room. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got back in.
And there's a Towsy and a Litho Breaker, and they're playing chess.
No, we had an opportunity there to shorten the show by half an hour.
Has
We're
somebody been
locking
in
the door.
Has somebody been in and Febrezed it yet?
Yeah. Yes.
No, those two are very fragrant.
Yeah, we know.
Smells of Centauri Mega Gin and
yes. So are we saying if people pop down to the green room at the moment, they'll need to have an alternative way of listening until we get there? Is that...
Yeah, well, just carry on listening wherever you're listening now to us. Just park in there.
We'll give you notice that we're going to do it, so you've got time to schlep across and unplug yourself from one set so you don't hear everything twice. So don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't hear everything twice.
Don't hear everything twice.
Don't hear
Twice.
everything twice.
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 You
Twice
see,
would be
the
just
thing is,
stupid.
I can see in the live stream. I mean, there's all sorts of people hiding in there that names I recognise, and you got your Bitstorms and your Bograts and the Ed Hunters and Beetlejuice and Dead Meat GF.
There's a
and
lot of
Funky
people
Abigail's
today.
there as well.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
a
I
lot of
know.
people. Yeah.
And
Happy Moon Monkey.
but what we're saying to all of you is, I know you've got your ears tuned in, but what you need to do, end of the show, pop into the green room, say hi. We'll check you're all right. Chat to you, and then tell you to go home again afterwards. So, but that's not now. That's later. You get
That
the
was
idea.
that was a
Yeah.
lot of faffing about and nonsense to say that this week is Green Room Week.
It was. And if
Yeah, I
you're-
know. A
Good job everyone
Jaggy
was
Doe
sleeping,
and Happy Moon. I want to talk to a Happy Moon monkey.
Did you
you
see his
see-
pumpkin?
No.
What?
Long-time friend of the
pumpkin
show, Happy Moon Monkey. Oh, yes.
Pumpkin
yeah.
on Frontier livestream earlier.
I want to know how
Yeah.
happy the Happy Moon monkey actually is.
Over the moon.
Oh, right, okay.
Over the moon. Yes.
Did he burn up on re-entry?
Anyway, so
Yes.
maybe we'll speak to some of you later over in the green room. I can see Lithobreaker and Towsy. They're still playing chess.
Right. Okay.
Lithobreaker
No. They're
seems to be doing better at the moment. I
taking
think
advantage
they
of
may
Hanky
have,
being out at Nando's.
yeah, well, yes, and beating Rampage at chess.
Hanky's got a
Yeah.
hot date with Rampage, hasn't
Yeah, yeah.
They do.
Another
yes.
one.
he? Yeah.
Socially distanced
we-
over the distance of a chessboard.
Is this the second date?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's, I tell you it's hot because there's plenty of piri. So
Yeah,
I think that's what they call it. Don't Google it.
Speaking of what do you call it?
Yes. What is
Tritium.
it? What is this tritium? What is this tritium swapping round?
Tritium.
A million.
Tritium.
Tritium. It's
Tritium.
No,
Tritium.
I'm sorry.
Tritium.
It's tritium.
I'm sorry. There was a message
Tritium.
from
Tritium.
the
You said
Comfy Cannon
tritium
Cruise.
yourself.
Potato.
Yeah, I know.
Potato.
Tomato.
Nobody calls it a potato.
Tritium.
Tritium.
I blame
Definitely
Mephisto. Mephisto got it all wrong, and Mephisto said tritium, and what can we say?
Yeah.
No, he didn't. You
actually,
said it.
when-
You said it.
You said it. Yeah, you didn't
no,
say
I
it.
did
You
not.
spelt it.
That
You
was
said it.
Mephisto.
Just because he was it. I don't know. It may not have been an entire fisto.
I
but,
don't
you know,
think. Yeah.
you're being operated.
We have never ever been accused of doing bad impressions of any of the elite community here on the radio show ever.
No, because we delete any of those.
Yeah.
To be fair, it is hydrogen with 3 hadrons, so it could be tritium.
No, it's not.
No.
It could be, but
It's
it isn't.
tritium.
Do
tritium.
or do not. There is no try.
It's one
No,
proton, 2 neutrons.
when Captain Kirk went to Space Station K9
That's made
and had to
up.
deal with the tribbles,
Tribbles.
the grain that they had, the tribbles.
Hang on, you've got that all wrong. K9 is in Doctor Who, not Star Trek.
No, Space
Yep.
Station K9.
No,
It might have
I,
been K7.
I don't think. I
But
don't
they
think-
had the grain
No.
there was quadrotriticale, not quadrotriticale.
Oh, it's going to be a long night.
Yeah.
It's a
Well,
green room week, and I'm here as well, which means we're in for the long haul.
I brought my sleeping bag.
Speaking
Love
of
to count.
speaking of bad impressions, HS 50. Speaking of bad impressions, HS 5060. Mrs. HS 5060 is not very well, is she?
No, I mean, Thargoids. I mean, Tharg the Mighty. I mean, this is not on. Seriously, not on. I mean,
Seriously?
by all means, HS 5060, take on the Thargoids, have battle with Tharg the Mighty. But for goodness sake, Tharg the Mighty has attacked Mrs. HS 5060 with a caustic missile. That's not on.
Euphemism.
I know.
And as if that wasn't enough, she's not very well.
No, so Mrs. HS 5060, please do get well soon.
Yeah.
Get well soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because COVID's rubbish.
The last thing you need is the HS 5060 coming up when you're really ill, when your head's banging, you just want to sleep, and HS 5060 comes into the room and goes, "Are you feeling better?
Cup of tea, dear.
Cup of tea."
HS 5060 here, talking to Thorg the Mighty. Now you leave Mrs. HS 5060 out of
soup.
Have we announced the theme yet? No, they're Dead Meat GF. You're living in the last century. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Speaking of living in the last century and all things relating to time, clocks.
Yes.
Clocks go back this week. Well,
Yeah.
we
No,
align
no.
ourselves.
We have to. There's a caveat on that one. There is definitely terms and conditions apply.
Well, yeah, but
it
that's
doesn't
only
happen
the.
if-
It's only
doesn't
the.
happen if-
Yeah, the night
To go back
shift.
for us, but
yeah,
not
night
for
shift.
night shift.
We're aligning ourselves with galactic time.
Yeah.
Can I just? I mean, I'll talk to the chat and whatever else. Whatever time it is for you, Hutton Radio time will be changing later in the week.
Yes.
Sunday night,
Sunday morning.
Saturday night. No,
Saturday night.
Sunday morning.
2
Yeah.
o'clock.
Sunday morning.
So whatever your local time is, don't worry about that one. But Hutton Radio time will be changing.
That'll
Yes.
confuse people.
Yeah,
Yes.
that made it a lot clearer.
Yep, completely clear.
Yeah. So speaking of time and time moving on and all things time related, I believe that 2 people have birthdays.
Oh, in stereo.
Two?
Yes.
2 people have
It's a
birthdays.
super special.
Stereo birthdays.
Yes.
Oh.
Nick?
We're going to have to apologise now
Or is it
in
two mono
advance.
birthdays?
Apology, officer, in advance
I
for
can
what's
only
about to happen.
apologise for what you're about to be subjected to.
Twice.
I love this bit. This is like my favourite part.
La 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 la
If
la.
you'd like to count me in, I will
Now,
press
the very,
I will
very
start the
first
music.
one this evening is for the long-lamented, much missed, and disappeared on his big,
Red Dead 2.
horny Type 9, somewhere else in the galaxy. Buck Naked. Anybody remember Buck Naked?
I remember his
Yes.
chair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
stuck to it.
That's it. Juan got his chair.
Yeah, I know. We're still disinfecting it. Juan, please get your inoculations quick. So Commander Buck Naked is, I don't know how many million years old this guy is, but he's at least 2 of them. And we'd like to wish Buck Naked, spokesman for Lakon Spaceways, former presenter of Hutton's Top Trucker, and to Top Trucker himself, a very, very happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
Birthday.
You have to sing for us.
Birthday
Day to you.
Happy
Happy
birthday to you.
Happy
Happy birthday to you.
And it smells like
And many
one
more.
Has
too.
anybody got the words somewhere?
Yes.
Has everybody got the tune somewhere?
No.
However, if that wasn't torture enough
How
for our
dare
listener,
Oh, doing it again.
the studio has cake.
Yay!
Hey.
The studio has cake and celebratory wine and
4 candles.
all these things. Yeah,
Four
4
candles,
candles.
yeah.
Yeah. Because, Amelia,
Yes.
you're 21 again.
Again and again.
Again,
and
again.
Again.
A couple
And
of times
again.
over. Yes. So Amelia,
Yes.
it's your fault that this is happening twice this show. Take it away. Take it away.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
I love this so much.
Happy birthday, dear Amelia. Happy birthday to you.
And you live in a zoo.
Yeah, and so
We
did you
cannot
get any
apologise
fantastic
enough.
prizes for your birthday this week? I mean,
Sorry, say that again.
were you given any fantastic prizes other than the singing you've just heard for your birthday this week?
No, not really.
Taking up any new hobbies?
You need to have a word with your friends.
Knife
again.
throwing?
I've been working a lot, so I haven't really had time to
Knife
think about my
throwing? You
birthday.
did take up knife throwing. I
No.
saw the pictures.
Oh yes, my new chef's knives. I bought them for myself for cooking though.
No, but that's a
They're
birthday self treat.
and Damascus steel.
I
Well,
bet you
we'll
might,
ask
but
you
it can't
about-
be Syrian.
Does that mean they stick further into the wall?
Well, they could if I was to do that, but these things you don't realise how bad normal knives are.
Save it for the green room.
It's the closest thing you'll get to a lightsaber.
Yeah. How many fingers do you have now?
Two.
Two fingers. Yes. It's the
So
two
what's
that you
he
hold the
doing?
knife with.
The postman has gone away,
Save
gone
other
from running
things.
away screaming to standing still and screaming and looking at the dismembered end of their own arm. Yes.
I haven't seen the postman in months. I think he's dead.
Oh no!
I'm not surprised.
No sign of number 2.
Is there
No,
a
number
lump
two
in the
dis-
lawn?
Well, number 2 got replaced. See,
Yeah. So
he just
number
couldn't cut
3?
it.
Amelia, without volunteering somebody who's not happy to be volunteered to do things, Funky Abigail says there is another verse to that song that Australians add that y'all might not be aware of. Now, I have absolutely no idea whether Funky Abigail would enlighten us later. We're sort of hoping maybe yes, but I'm not going to impose on Funky Abigail saying that Funky Abigail will. Maybe just that a link might be posted, we could be educated later.
Let's just say that Funky Abigail can tell us it, but doesn't actually have to sing it.
No,
that might improve things a bit.
If Funky Abigail is cool telling us about it, yeah, you're paid.
Yeah, nothing, but I am paid.
Yeah.
Oh right, okay. Now, there was a Frontier live stream on Tuesday with Zach and Bruce because. I think Arthur's taken the week off and gone on holiday.
Yeah. He was somewhere.
Release update 8 week. Yeah, just gone on holiday. Yeah, that's fine. So after last week's excellent live stream, there was not much report in the Tuesday one. But Juan, also known as Chicks.
Yes.
There was corpsing.
Corpsing.
Fishing.
That was the best bit, actually. Zach corpsing in with the giggles. Yeah, that's probably the highlight. And there wasn't much to say, but come on, update 8.
But no, there was some screenshots first, and we got not update 8 first.
That's right. And our very own Commander Light 027 had a screenshot shown of a void art, and it was a very good picture with his anaconda in the background. Very good. So if you get
was it big? Was it impressive?
The void heart?
No, the anaconda.
That's the usual size anaconda, But it's like big things are sometimes far away and
in the mirror. There's
small,
a saying that. Yes.
Far away. Yeah. So
sometimes.
Here's a question about update 8 while we're on it. If you get
No. Update 8 before
8?
You start.
Yeah.
There's an update.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've been away.
Another one.
There's been a lot of updates since you were last on the air.
So update 8, which went out yesterday. So here's the
Did you back up your control bindings?
No, because I'm on
None
Xbox.
of us did that because you weren't here to remind us.
Windows 95 has come out.
Do you know what? There was somebody on the forums who was having a tantrum because they lost their bindings, and I sort of felt a little bit guilty. Because I normally put on the forum and the Hutton Facebook page and everything else all about the bindings, and I forgot.
I know
it's all your fault, Dave.
Yeah, that's what happens. As soon as you don't remind people, they just lose it.
So
everyone loses it.
If you're listening to this yesterday, then just back up your stuff, okay?
Right. So I've got a question, and I'm going to ask my question because I want to ask my question. You get 4 commanders playing together in a big ship. Does that count as play?
Yes.
Excellent.
How do you know?
And if you get it wrong, does that count as crossplay? No.
Oh, wow.
That's
I know about
different.
foreplay, trust me.
Since I can spell, that's not funny
is
at
that
all.
with a U or not with you?
It depends if you ask her nicely. Yes.
Yeah.
It depends who you asked.
No, I think Amelia probably means 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, as opposed to 4 and aft.
You never forget that game of Dungeons and Dragons, will you?
That was a good game.
That was a good game. It started off as a game of Dungeons and Dragons, and yeah, it was a long night.
A very, very long night.
So, because I normally sort of do this bit, and
that's okay, which means David, shut up that bit.
Yeah. No, it doesn't mean that.
No, it does.
Okay, it does. And the Tuesday one was so short, I thought I better watch the Thursday one.
Yeah.
But God, I waited. It didn't actually start till maybe they've had a problem with their clocks, but it hadn't started until 7:25.
Oh, I missed 5 minutes then.
And I still had to get started on the script, so I kind of caught a couple of bits of it. But it was Zach, Sally, and Bruce. So basically, was that all of them except Laugh?
Yeah.
And they were, you remember you used to see it, remember Palletville, the sort of sofa social area they had with the pallets. They were hanging out there in their Halloween pumpkin shirts, all looking very uniform, giving away prizes. But obviously, come on, David, join in. He's sulky.
Not
No. I was going to say you're probably slurping wine.
What? No, we don't get prizes. We give prizes. We don't get prizes.
Well, there's a show to do, you know.
Yeah.
But as we mentioned earlier, Happy Moon Monkey, yes, who was in the chat earlier.
Hang on a second. Is this the Happy Moon Monkey that I was... I just have to say hi to Happy Moon Monkey.
The very same.
Yeah.
Well,
Such an awesome name.
They'd carved a pumpkin in the shape of a Coriolis station, which is, when you think about it, if you've seen a Coriolis station, it's kind of mostly square. And you've seen a pumpkin, it's mostly not square.
Yeah.
I thought it was rather good.
Yeah, I like
but
that.
as good as it was, they didn't win because somebody did one with a Crate Phantom on it, and they
There were
won.
2 Corioluses.
And Crate Phantoms is everyone's favourite ship.
Ah, right, is that it? It's
No,
not my
Type-
favourite. I haven't
Type
got one.
9 for me.
Anyway, that was my
Type 9 for me too.
Commander Kin Shadow of the Guard Frequency podcast one. That it was good, I must admit. But
Yeah.
I was very impressed with turning a round thing into you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, Coriolis Station is actually a cuboctahedron.
Yes.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Vaguely spherically.
Yeah. Sorry, I just thought I'd jump that one in there.
Yeah, it's a sort of a square sphere, isn't it?
Cuboctahedron.
Yeah, square sphere.
Funky Abigail says, bless you.
Just like- right.
But they did cover some of the things coming up in very briefly because obviously some of us, I imagine Palantir hasn't even updated. Have you done 5 yet?
Yes,
Palantir?
I've done. I always keep up to date. I log in.
Oh,
I do.
right, okay,
I even went in
That's
game
what
today.
you're doing when I
went in game
just
and I
isn't
took.
I wondered what you were doing in there.
I did. I went in game and took 2 screenshots of my lap. For reason.
I'm sorry. That kind of thing is going to get you banned on
I was
Facebook.
going to do.
okay?
What I was going to do for the story about the Python, my original thought was actually take a picture of that console and then Photoshop in a rear windscreen heater switch on there. But we but went with something different in the end. But yes, I did go in game and I did take 2 photographs of my lap. Yes.
What did you Photoshop in then? Or did you Photoshop something out?
In, out, shake it all about. No,
Oh,
don't.
No, that's
No!
enough.
My eyes! Oh, it burns!
No, it doesn't look like a helicopter. No.
And then wipe it on the curtain. Is that how you do it? No.
Oh! Somebody send him out to the green room now. Litho, we're going to send him out, right, and just have words. Okay?
Make him stand in the corridor.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's stuff. There's exciting stuff. There are updates. There's things, and I mean, okay. So I've looked at the update now, and there are more seats. We spoke about that one.
No. Yeah.
You can take more people with you. Because you could previously get into wings with them, but they couldn't like climb on board. You know, when Flossy lands, we can't all pile on board Flossy's ship.
No, you only
we can
you
now.
only had a
Yeah.
maximum of 3 seats, including the pilot.
On
Now you
some
get
ships.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the selfies are a little better. It's more like Reservoir Dogs, and a little bit less like Marley and Me now.
But what happened with the seats? Where did they put the extra seat? Did they think about it, or did they just bung it in the middle somewhere?
No, they're logical.
Okay, that's good.
So somebody gets the back seat, you know, the backseat driver special.
Yeah. Shotgun.
Yeah.
So
Shotgun.
what about the Anaconda? Is somebody down in that wee seat at the bottom on the observation?
No, the
deck?
Anaconda's got enough space that you can have a whole auditorium full of people in it. So you could stick that one anywhere. So there's that, and there are... Now, if you are sensible and you download the update and you're not on the forums and you get the update and all of a sudden... You know, your frame rates are better, and you don't look at the number. We told you don't look at the number bottom left, but you play the game and it's, the shadows are cool and they're much better and everything's smoother, then you're a happy bunny. On the other hand, if you sit there staring at that little number bottom left and you go, it dropped to 2 frames a second when I went in the lift. This new update's crap. Then you're clearly an idiot. And I suggest that probably you might want to go and, I don't know...
Watch a test card or or something.
Yeah.
Play
watch test
Frogger.
card, yeah. So, but as far as we can tell, things are much better, smoother, faster. We're looking at glass, things are cool. We're looking at screens, things are cool. When you're in the lift, we don't care if they're cool or not, so don't tell us. Please don't tell us, because it's pointless. Or standing still, having just disembarked for a fraction of a second. Don't tell us about that one as well, because that's also pointless. But as far as we can tell, everything's much smoother.
Okay.
Yeah, because I tried it, and it was, and therefore you're all wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
so
the interdiction bars are back.
they are, yes. Apart from, there was one person who reported that the little symbol that shows what ship you're targeting, on their screen, it went really, really small, like 5 mil in size. So the really big anaconda was like 5 mil in size down there on the radar.
Big things that might be far away.
Yeah, exactly. Should have gone to Specsaver.
Small things.
But there's stuff coming, which is quite... The missions, by the way, before we start, the missions, new mission people, halfway through the missions. Have you seen them?
Not yet.
Not
Oh,
yet.
you can chat to them.
I only downloaded an hour ago.
I know, but you can have a chat to them now. So you take one of these missions, you get under a settlement, and there are people to chat to now, which is quite cool. But they're expanding that so that when you go to POIs, you can chat to people down at POIs. You know, where there's the crashed eagle into the ground, and there's some guy stood next to it going, "Oh God, I wish I hadn't skipped my driving test, or flying test." You can now chat to them, so that's new.
So you just shoot in between the eyes before you get close? No.
Yeah,
No,
and
you can't
and Flossy's discovered the new thing.
New thing.
Flossy has 7 things you're allowed to say now. You're not allowed to say anything but these 7 things anymore.
8 things, isn't it?
No, Flossie,
Doesn't fit the
what you mean is the word disagree at that point.
All right. Disagree.
Disagree. 8 things. 8 things. So if we were to say Flossie, how fast was your download and was it good? You would say...
Agree.
Agree, yes. And if we were to say, Commander Palantir has been saying rude words...
Stop.
Stop, exactly. So agree and stop. And if you were to say, I don't know, where's the green room? Shall we? Where is the go? Or possibly it's over. It's over.
Wave.
No, well, don't wave for the green
Oh,
room.
point over there.
Point
Don't do that.
to the
Rude.
green room.
That's
There we
rude.
go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rude.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Unless you're playing one of those drinking games where pointing means that you have to drink the entire bucket of Centauri Mega Gin.
Oh, hold on. Ooh.
Yes, and of course, if we take the show entirely too far, you have to...
Stop.
That's the one. So we can... Hang on a second. Have we gone through all of them yet? And, ouch. Yeah, you have your own emote as well, which is the pan emote, which hurts quite a bit.
There's the salute.
So we got one of them. What else have we got?
Salute.
Oh, 07 Flossy. Yeah, you can do the 07. So we can 07. We can point to the green room. We can say go to the green room. We can say stop. No, please stop now. What else have we got? That's 4. Come on, somebody help me here.
I'm going through them one at a time. Clapping. Who can applaud?
Clapping. Oh, which is at the end of the show when we say it's seamless.
Someone can give you the clap.
But absolutely. But I have to say your photographs were quite evocative there on the Facebook page. You did demonstrate them very, very well.
I thought they were Polaroids.
Yes. And we do understand that the Burr Pit have been demonstrating how to make videos and dance move videos with the new emotes as well.
They always will do.
They will do. Will do. YMCA, but point, stop, go, wave. Anyway, right. Then there's the update 9.
Oh, so you know nothing about Update 8, but you know all about Update 9?
I do, yes. Because
Do tell more. Do tell us
because
more.
somebody handed me a tablet with it written on the screen in front of me.
Yeah, that would help.
Yeah, right. But Update 9 is also known as Development Update 5.
No.
Development
Month
update
5.
tells us about update 9.
Oh, correct. Fine.
Thanks,
Yes.
Flossy.
Okay.
Glad somebody's on the ball.
So somebody is improving my performance, which is awesome. But then,
Sounds like a personnel review.
yeah, it does. I mean,
Or a medication review.
We
Vodal.
call them fluffers.
Yes.
fluffers.
Oh, you've got to hand it to them, haven't you?
Yes,
Yeah.
So Vodal have an update.
They do.
Yeah. Would somebody like to tell us about Vodal?
Well, they make those little, at least there's 6, they look like 6-wheel, but I think they're probably 8, aren't they? I
Yeah,
think some double wheels in
there
there
is at the
somewhere.
front.
Oh, that's right, double at the front.
12.
Well, they made a bigger, meaner version, and it's got a whacking great turret, even bigger than the other turret on the roof.
Because the old turret is a little twin thing, like
Dual
an
repeaters, yeah.
anti-aircraft gun. Yeah.
Well, this thing looks like it's got a whacking great railgun or something on it. I can't tell from the limited edition spoiler pic that we saw.
Yeah, because that only showed you the very top, but it did look like the body of the thing is actually quite heavily armoured as well.
Well, what I want to know is, I know it's 2-seat, but the fundamental question everybody wants to know is it side by side or is it tandem?
Yeah.
We've got to know.
Piggyback.
We've got to know.
Yeah, but also that explosion in the background. What? I mean, that's quite
Looks
impressive.
Yeah, what the hell has it shot? Has it just done a sidewinder or something?
I mean, are these little things equipped with the kind of weapon you wish you had on your Anaconda?
Well, it is a combat SRV.
Yeah,
I
but
think the clue's in the title.
Was it
SRV.
definitely the
I mean,
Was it definitely the SRV that caused the explosion?
well, it's implied, I must admit. It's implied.
Yeah.
It's wishful thinking.
Yeah. But number 2 on the list is further mission additions and improvements.
Yes. Well, you
Does
can-
anybody have the text of this on screen? Or
well, if
Yeah.
you just click that link there, it'll tell you.
Flossie, would you enlighten us about what this means?
We continue to expand player missions and their complexity, striving to make each mission more diverse and dynamic. As we previously mentioned, we are continuing to work on this. Below are just some of the examples of what mission features we will be adding for Update 9. Please remember this is only a snapshot of what we have planned, and we will of course share more with you in the future.
So, number 1 on my list is...
Mission contacts at POIs.
I love these. I mean, at the moment, I love these anyway. The POIs, I've really enjoyed doing POIs. Because, yeah, you go to one of the random signals you find, and there's some smashed ship with some person who's screaming for help because there are 5 scavengers chasing them. Then you murder all of them, including him, and realise you've just messed up the mission.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the change.
Similar to the mission contacts recently added in Update 8, we'll also be adding new scenarios and related missions to help or meet individuals outside of the confines of settlements. Some of these individuals might need the player's help to get their ship running, or may be waiting for a courier to complete the next step of a sensitive delivery. Sometimes you may find you are just in time to save them from opportunist raiders.
Just don't shoot them. Because that will fail the
That's
mission.
the flower people, surely.
Yeah. So the next one is to do with settlements.
Settlement mission providers. As we have in social spaces, some of the inhabitants at a settlement may also have requests they can make of the player. These missions are a lot more personal and will be granted by actual inhabitants who visit again later to complete the mission.
FNAR. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, say no more.
And the next one, this one I'm really... Multi-limper controller.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
the miners, Amelia.
Now you're talking.
I can see that.
And the fuel rats.
Yeah.
Yes, Amelia, yes. The multi-limpet controller is a new module that works in addition to existing limpet controllers allowing players to deploy multiple input types using a single module slot. This controller is not intended to replace the existing dedicated limpet controllers and will be balanced against these within the game, allowing basic use of multiple input types without a dedicated slot for each.
So we're not looking at like
Prospectors
launching
and
4...
collectors.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
What?
Prospectors and collectors in one.
But
Yeah.
only one at a time. I think
That's
that may be a
okay.
limitation. That I mean,
Well,
with the
I don't
collectors,
know
you can
what
do
sort of
4.
limits.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll reduce
What-
the number, surely.
What
So-
you can do though, if you're mining, is
penalty.
load up all your normal collector limpet controllers, and instead of putting a prospector limpet controller on, you put a multi on, and then you can send out your prospector limpet. It hits the asteroid, and then you switch it over to collector, and you've got an extra collector limpet.
Are you max minning
Exactly.
this?
The only
You're
thing
one of those,
is-
aren't you?
No, I
But-
don't do mining, but that just
The
makes sense to me.
dedicated prospector,
Why
the
don't you do
better
mine?
the better it is, the bigger you yield. So you may
Really?
get a smaller yield if it's
You
not a
only
dedicated one.
hear tips like that on Hutton Orbital Radio. I had
Yeah.
no idea.
I had no
Oh, yeah,
idea
yeah.
about that either. Oh,
Yeah, the better your prospector limpet is, the more you'll get out of a rock.
I'm just imagining some sort of gold prospector back in the US somewhere panning for gold in a stream somewhere, and they buy a bigger pan.
Right, 6-foot pan.
Thing
Yeah.
is,
Yeah,
I always
6-foot
thought
pan.
that was the case.
The better
Yeah,
your
the
prospects, the
better-
more you'll get out of it. Yes.
I
Yeah.
had no
Yeah.
idea.
And
Yeah.
mining.
But after update 9, so this is update 9 stuff, but then after the black and white picture made me go all wibbly because it made one of my news articles make no sense at all about fleet carriers and Eros buying everyone a beer. Yes.
Plus fleet carrier interiors
Ooh.
no.
and a nice
Including.
picture of a bridge.
I like bridges.
Hooray!
I like bridges, me.
Yeah.
With 2 BBC Micro B issue 7 keyboards.
Yes.
The trouble is that it's got a whacking great wide window with a load of crap in front of it on both sides. I mean, what's that?
Well, no,
So you can see out the
that's
middle bit.
That-
Well,
That's because of
that's
the
protect you.
Python glass.
You have to
Yeah.
protect you on when people come inbound. They're going to go through the ship. This is like you don't want it like airplane, and the
Double
coming through the
reinforced.
glass.
Right, so-
Yes.
Isn't it sort of unnamed primate glass?
Sorry, yes, unnamed primate glass. Version 2. So they said we previously announced that we're bringing interiors to fleet carriers, which is great because I mean the 7 that we get now, which Commander Palantir, you looked them up because they said in a grand announcement there were going to be new interiors on fleet carriers.
Yes, I did. Look
So
it
we
up
went
today.
and
Yes,
looked
yes,
up
yes.
the Wells class fleet carriers, thinking
Yes.
there were lots.
Did they say it would only be Wells class? though?
Yeah.
At the moment,
it
just
is.
Wales
Yeah.
class. Yes,
Which is 7.
Which is 7 carriers.
yes, there
Yes.
are, and they are. You've got Dove Enigma at Colonia.
Yep.
Still Chrissy's Eclipse with a K. That's Chrissy with a K, not Eclipse with a K, because that would just be
Yep.
stupid. The Indra, the Midas, and Tiliala's Lament.
Oh, okay. What about Fisher's Rest? Because that's a flight.
Is it in the
controller. I
Is
don't
it in
know
the
if it's
list?
a
Is it in the
Wells.
list?
It's not a Wells class.
It's not a Wells class, so it won't have
Nope.
an interior.
So I think what we've got at the moment is like a prototype. But these 7 now have the escape pods.
Yeah.
And we did have a question on Twitter from one particularly naughty commander who kept being sent to jail.
Somebody who their commander name says they don't actually pay for their footwear. Is that one? Oh,
Yeah, that's the one. That's the
Yeah.
one. Who keeps being sent to jail. Say, oh, I've got an escape pod, which means when I get sent to jail, I can now escape on an escape pod. But now they can't because the prison ships don't have escape pods. But fleet carriers apparently will have escape pods.
Yeah.
Apparently. Which means you can escape from them. So if somebody kidnaps you to the far end of the galaxy to mine for them, the slavery thing, you could just jump in an escape pod with your pet R2-D2 down to the nearest desert moon
There's
Yes.
no life forms on there.
Then you can have an argument, go your separate ways, get captured again and enslaved by the Jawas.
What was that? An enormous half good Beagle Point.
Yep, sold to a moisture farmer.
Yeah. But apparently, when you add shipyard facilities to your fleet carrier, you will actually be able to go on foot to the shipyard person to buy ships on foot at your fleet carrier. Yeah.
No, that sounds good.
And you can experience... Now, they say hyperspace jump, and I'm going to take issue with this one.
Fleet carrier.
Don't fleet carriers use witch space?
Yes.
I don't know.
Which is why you vomit, which is why we don't have windows. We've done this reporting. You vomit, you can't have windows because you're going to throw up because witch space is scary.
That's that little pocket on the side. It's for sick bags.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but you must get like special glass or something that filters it.
But apparently they are launching a VIP fleet carrier tour in December, which is only weeks away.
Yeah.
Now, a special message to the person on the... We've just released update 8 patch notes, who said, why don't the patch notes contain all the details about what all the narrative is and is going to be? And got the snarky response from Zach to say, well, we're not going to give that away, are we? That's foolish. All they're going to say is there will be narrative in the future.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what
And
I need. No.
there's a lot planned for 2022, which is 3308.
Oh, aye, yeah.
If you want spoilers, buy a ship kit.
Yes.
Uh,
on your
Or
Type
a type
10.
or a Type 10 with a ship
Yeah.
Or
kit,
a
yeah.
Cobra Mark 4.
Yeah.
Yes,
there's
but
You can't
we
buy
are...
one of those, can you?
We're looking forward to the multiplayer SRV. We're looking forward to the bridges. It's all cool. It's
Yeah.
great.
See the message
been having a wee
from
look at
See the message. Sorry, from Okayam. Gnosis now has escape pods, but still no giant gold statue of Dr. Arcannon in the concourse. Sadly.
Oh, it does
for
have a skip
God's
pod.
sake,
And
you
it's
asked
an
for one
is-
thing.
Yeah.
Is the Gnosis therefore a world's class
No, it's
carrier
an
in
Miss-
disguise?
Commander
It's
Wotherspoon
megaships.
says.
They're megaships, aren't they?
Yeah,
Not
but it says it's a
travelling
Gnosis.
carriers.
So Gnosis is an Asimov class megaship, that's where we thought because they.
Size.
So when the Pilots Federation say it's world's class megaships, do they mean inclusively world's class megaships, not exclusively? Ooh,
Yes.
sounds like we should complain.
Somebody has
No.
to go. Somebody has to go to Fisher's Rest and check that out. I have had a quick look at that picture, the SRV, and the thing that is blown up is a skimmer. You can see the round bits.
Yeah.
It's blown up a skimmer.
Which means it was probably Rampage.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah, very possibly. I wonder if this thing. It looks very, very heavy, and there's a wee bit at the back that makes me wonder if it's maybe got tracks on it. It might be a tracked SRV
It might
instead
be a
of
lot
slate.
slower then.
Yeah.
Will be.
But it would get
And
up
that-
bigger slopes, wouldn't it?
And the gun is actually mounted to the turret. It's only got mounted on the left-hand side. So I wonder if there's like a camera or a space for, if you'll have one person sitting in a dome or a bubble or something looking out in the actual turret. So I don't know. It looks interesting. I think it's going to.
Looks like
Stay
it'll-
tuned.
I'm
Yes.
guessing.
The angles, change angles, tilt up
Yeah.
and things.
I'm guessing doing tracks for this.
Apology,
one. It
officer.
looks-
You do realise when this comes to the world of opposable thumbs, you're going to have to go through the update 1, update 2, update 3. If you think you're getting all this in one go, you just...
I think
you're
we'll get it
having a
all
laugh.
in. I
No,
had a chat
if
with
we've
David
gone
earlier.
through the pain, you have to go through the pain as well.
No, I'm not doing
That's
that.
right. Yeah.
Now I have to ask a question.
Yes. Oh.
How very ethnic of you.
Yes.
I have to ask a question. What?
Axe.
Ask what?
Ask. Never mind.
Keep going.
I can't keep going. I've run out of things to say.
Your cap is bigger, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
It's a very big camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
It's
way
4
round?
times
What-
the size.
Oh,
Yeah, what
Three
way
times
round
the
is
size.
it?
Three
Times the size.
3 times the size, and you fill it 3 times as fast.
Oh, excellent.
Yes.
Great.
So, yeah, the ARC's cap for 1 week is 1,200 instead of the 400, and it'll last until November the 4th, and you earn it 3 times faster than you normally do.
Excellent.
That's so handy because I haven't played for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I'll let you buy yourself something nice.
I'll be back to where I should have been.
Yeah.
By the way, the paint jobs for the SRVs are now looking more like they do in Horizons, which means gold looks gold, goldish looks goldish, and gold vaguely looks gold
Right.
vaguely.
Anyway,
Yeah, right.
it's gone 10 o'clock, so I'm wondering if it's time now.
It's me.
If it's time now for something that can eat up to 50,000 insects in one session. I know, I don't mean dead meat running with his mouth open. I mean, Aardvark! Aardvark!
Well, after
Oh,
such...
fuck.
That was so enthusiastic, Flossy. After such a big
Aardvark.
change to the galaxy this week. Sorry, Mia.
No, you're
I'm
not.
looking forward to... No, I'm not. I'm looking forward to hearing what wonders Flossy is going to bring us in the CG news.
Hooray!
I do like to hear you being honest.
Universe is
Universe
in trouble. Bug infestations in the bubble. Your home station's burned rubble. What on earth can we do now? Interstellar initiatives. Let Flossy tell you what it is. Then you can get involved with this. You should listen to what Flossy says. Interstellar initiatives. Flossy tells us what she thinks it is. Then you can get involved with this. Now you should listen to what Flossy says.
Yes, and that was the long version, so you know what's following. Hello, Flossy here with this week's CG News. Last week's CG finished at 0600 UTC this morning, about halfway between tiers 4 and 5, with over 31 million units collected. As Tier 3 was reached, the top 75% of contributors will receive a fully engineered Class 1 Leading D mining laser with long range. The module will be placed in storage at the Pride of Bitterwood in the EGM 559 system by Friday the 29th of October. That's by the end of Friday, so don't go looking there 2 minutes after midnight. Torval Mining Limited will also deploy technology brokers to its megaships who will uniquely stock the engineered mining laser. As Tier 4 was reached, all Torval Mining Limited megaships will also provide a 40% reduction on all available mining modules, starting on Friday 29th of October and lasting for 4 weeks. This week's news CGs, I'm afraid there aren't any. So that's it for this week's CG News.
Flossy told you what to do.
Thank you, Flossy. Time now for us to ease into a more contemplative mood as we marvel at the outpourings from the 34th century's version of Armand and Michaela Denis, with the only difference being that the wild animals are behind the camera. It's the Galnet News Digest from Commanders Beetlejuice and Wotherspoon.
Oh, 7 Commanders! Hello and welcome, everybody! It's so good to be back with you again.
07 Commanders. This is Commander Wotherspoon, and that is Commander Beetlejude. And as you can see, we're showing off the new emote system.
Can I just interrupt you for a second there, Commander Wotherspoon? I notice in chat we've got various commanders saying that their emotes aren't working. We'll get right on that. Sorry, carry on.
Yes, so on tonight's live stream, we're going to look at our stunning screenshots, and then we're going to, if we have time, and we might not have time, but if we have time, we're going to get into Open and play some PvP, which is one of my favourite things to do. So
I thought that was raiding. I thought that was raiding other commanders. That was what we were. What was the best thing to do?
do we raid other commanders?
We do. We always raid.
Do we at the end?
Yeah, we raid
Right.
at the end. Yes, right. No. Okay.
So, without further ado, shall we look at our first stunning screenshot? Now,
this one.
Oh yes,
I love this.
Our community manager
beautiful.
Paul has helped us by adding some words which tell us what to say. So yes, Commander Beetlejude, what do you think of this first one?
I think it's great. You can see all the smoke coming off the mega ship. I mean, it's just incredible. It almost looks like it's on fire, doesn't it?
It does. Yes, that little cactus down at the bottom left-hand corner, little glowy red cactus, is very much on fire, isn't it?
And I really like that it's at that angle as well.
That angle.
That angle, yeah, that Swedish angle.
We've had some people in chat telling us what these are, and this one's apparently called a Swedish angle.
Yeah, and
Yes.
I'm ready to look at the next one. Should we have a look at the next one?
Let's look at the next picture.
Yeah, just stunning.
I can see that there's a tennis ball, and I think it's just about to hit into the net.
I think we're inside a structure in this one, because if you look, you can see some sort of structures above and around. I'm wondering whether this one might be a Thargoid settlement site, although I'm not seeing any evidence of Thargoids.
Yes.
I'm just thinking that maybe it is, because you can just see they've parked outside, and you wouldn't be able to park any closer.
So this is a Thargoid plexiglass screen we're looking through.
Could be. Who knows? Someone in chat will tell us, I'm sure.
That's an absolutely stunning picture. Thank you, whoever sent it in.
Yeah, let's have a look. Oh, and the next one. I've just seen the next one. Are you going to bring that one up on screen?
Oh, yes. That is rather good, isn't it?
That's, I'm afraid, one I'm quite familiar with.
It's a very subdued use of colour here. Very clever around the edges.
Yes, a sort of noirish.
Yes, and at a very coquettish angle.
It's a sort of a I don't know, a Flemish angle, if you will.
A Flemish, yes.
Maybe so.
A Flemish angle. That's upside down, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I reckon so.
Stunning.
Yeah, and apparently this one is about colour, but I really feel that it's got quite a sense of space there as well. There's a real sense of space. You can see stars.
I think it's on a planet.
Yeah, but you can see stars.
Oh, you can see space in the
there.
distance. Yes. Right, let's look at... Oh, my goodness.
Oh, I think that one... Oh, I don't know whether that one should be in. Let's just skirt past that one. Let's get past that one.
Let's move on to the next one.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. And yeah.
Somebody's spilt some paint, haven't they?
Do you know what? I think that is one of my favourite new things to do in game, is just getting out there, out on the planet's surface, and really looking for that amazing biology. It's just such a wonderful thing to do.
Biology?
Is that biology?
Oh. It's slime.
I think it's lichen. Is it slime or is it lichen?
Ugh.
Is it?
Oh, no. Let's go on to the next picture.
Okay. Well, I'm sure someone in chat would tell us. I think if you're going to do a really good picture, it's well worth trying to look at the way you're looking at it. Are you looking down? Are you looking up? Sometimes it's nice to look from an unusual angle, isn't it? To really give your picture person a unique quality.
Yes. This is a stunning picture of somebody with some green hair. I think they're jumping. They must be jumping on the planet's surface.
I think so too.
Yes. Very high.
Very high for a very long time.
And
very, very long time.
Absolutely stunning use of a brown stripe on the left-hand side there.
I suspect that might be a fumarole.
Oh, it could be. Yeah, it could be a fumarole sort of spouting up.
Yeah.
Just. Yeah. Of course, yes. Okay, next one.
Okay, this one.
It's some people.
I'm
That's
not
a
sure.
nice iPad.
Yeah, people.
I'd like an
I know,
iPad like
lovely.
that.
I mean,
yes.
I'm not sure what's going on with that commander's feet. I'm wondering whether or not we might want to move on from that picture. I think that might have been submitted to our bug fix.
I think that's a foot bath.
Oh yeah, it could be red. You know, like with the cleaner fish. maybe.
Right.
Maybe that's
So-
going to come up on megaships.
and-
Watch this space, Commanders.
And the next picture, that's another
again,
footbath.
yeah,
Yes,
looks
yes.
like it is,
Footbath.
yeah,
Lots
yeah,
of nice
definitely
ventilation in the background there. That's really nice. Yes. I
Oh, look, ship interiors. Ship interiors. I'm
Oh.
looking at the next picture. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that
Can't
one.
Can't wait for this one.
That one is stunning.
Yeah.
Actually, that's that's one of these wireframe ships.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
stealth
I mean, it's
build.
really retro.
Yeah,
I like to
retro
think,
stealth build. Yes.
Yeah, and some great Braeburn Tunnel action there as well. That's always popular.
I don't know what the blue patch is on the left-hand side there.
Oh, I don't know. I'm wondering whether we're in the Pleiades, because that's quite blue, isn't
the
it?
Pleiades is
Especially
blue.
since the Odyssey update.
Yes.
Right, okay, let's look at the next one, shall we? What have we got here? Now, this is a really useful one, I think.
What is she looking at?
In terms of learning about how to compose your pictures, which
Is she looking at?
I'm not entirely sure. Maybe she's got something down her top.
Oh.
Yes, let's move on.
Ooh, oh.
This one. Now, I remember Commander Orange Phoenix spent a little bit of time with the community giving everyone some advice on really good use of the outside camera controls.
Yes, and how you can make something stand out by using the depth of field and the focus and the blur, and you can make something really stand out, like the words focal length stand out beautifully in front of that.
Yeah.
What sort of plug is that?
It's brightly coloured one.
Moving on. Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I think this must be a Halloween screenshot.
This is a lovely green and red wibbly background, and a commander.
He's giving me the dead eye. I'm not liking this. This is giving me the chills. Yeah, somebody ganked him.
I do like the use of colour. Yes, the use of colour and the use of corrugations in the background. That's very 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 clever. Clever. Yes. I mean, people don't just point their cameras and press the.
No.
button.
They wouldn't be sending them in unless they did.
Yeah, well,
unless they didn't.
That's
whoever knows. Right, yeah.
Well, actually, they do need to press the button, but.
Yeah, but then again, it depends whether it's bound or not.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, goodness sake, yes.
And whether you're on foot or not.
On foot, yes.
Or whether
If
that
you're on
binding
foot,
is
it never
saved.
works.
No, it doesn't.
Next picture.
Oh, look. That's quite a skill, isn't it? Standing on one foot. Is that been brought up? Is that one of the new emotes? Standing on one foot.
The standing on one foot emote. Yes.
A standing on one foot emote.
Yes, the standing on one foot emote is an amazing emote.
I'm not sure I've got that one bound.
No, indeed.
I think I might just use squat.
Yes.
I like squat.
I like the way that the canisters are leaning over at a jaunty angle. That's.
They do look quite jolly, don't they?
It is jolly. Yes.
Yeah, it's quite a cheerful picture. Everyone,
Jolly. Right.
And I think this might be our last one.
Oh,
our last picture, and that's a beautiful picture. Is that a cobra? I get a feeling that I'm looking. I'm not always completely accurate when I remember which ship it is.
They do look very similar, don't they?
Yeah, but I'm thinking that's
a
a cobra.
cobra.
That's a cockpit of a cobra. You can't really make it inside, make out what's inside, but I just.
Yes.
It's ringing a very, very strong bell. Are they in? What is the reflection on that? This kind of.
It looks like coral reefs, or.
Maybe so. Yes, maybe.
Yes. That's.
Well, thank you so much for showing me all those pictures. They are just amazing.
Yes, and
just wonderful.
Thank you, everyone, for sending them in.
Yeah.
Yes, you not get a decal. But I do hope you are typing Twitch drops into the chat. We won't give you anything, but it makes us laugh.
Yeah, we've not even got any emotes on the chat.
don't have any
actually.
emotes.
No emotes.
No
No
emotes,
emotes.
no emotes.
We've got emotes in game though. There's 7 emotes in game. So
And what are the emotes? Can you just remind me?
Oh gosh, there's
Thumbs up, no, go, stop, clap, salute, point, wave.
salute. 07 commanders. 07. Yeah,
07.
no, I'm going to be using that one all the time. And I think that pretty much winds it up for us tonight.
I think... Oh, do we not have time to do the PvP? That's a shame. 07 commanders.
07, and see you next week.
Thank you, Commanders Beetlejude and Wotherspoon. I'm definitely going to show that video at the next Hutton Photo Society meeting. Certainly make them appreciate my slideshow 346 shades of pink much more, and should at least reduce the number of complaints I get. Anyway, look, we've got a slight change to our usual format next. We can't bring you the standard sports report because the teletype is off for repairs. It's not easy getting ribbons for them more than 1,200 years since they last made any. Don't blame us. What the apology officer is offering us today is the Hutton Helper results, which does sound suspiciously similar to the sports report, but we'll give it a go, eh?
Welcome to the Hutton Helper results. This part of the show is sponsored by the Hutton Helper, the only third-party resource to come with a garland of garlic stored. Well, just follow your nose. This week we have the following events. The Let's Split Up and Explore on Our Own so we can cover more ground. Why would you do that cup? The Selling Girl Scout cookies made from real Girl Scouts, Wednesday Addams Shield. The Doesn't matter how many times you kill him, he'll always come back because he's on a mission, Jason Voorhees Special Awards. The Escaped Inmate from the High Security Asylum Challenge. The I'll Open the Coffin and You Stake Him Abraham Van Helsing Trophy. And the Trying to Escape by Car but the Serial Killer Used His Finger Knives to Cut the Brake Cables Challenge. So, never go outside to see what the noise was. Never assume that the bad guy won't get up again. And whatever you do not go to play with the creepy twins in the corridor. This week's Hutton results are: in exploration, which is measured by distance travelled, Lydia of the Void made 103,302 light years. Light 027 is in first place this week for cargo sold with 139,688 tonnes. Top mission runner is Kia 669 with 214.5 mission points earned. Alex Zuno shares the bounty hunting trophy this week with Volcarius. Both claim bounties to the value of 1,111,111,111 credits. This week's winner for combat bonds redeemed was Shattermage with 2,587,280,000 credits worth of bonds claimed. And the award for passengers transported goes to Kia 669, who taxied 3,829 passengers around the galaxy. And that's a decal in there for Volcarius. Please contact itookpart@huttonorbital.com and arrange to collect your Hutton decal kit, which this week consists of a pumpkin, a candle, a sharp knife, and a picture of Hutton Orbital. Well, there are no Hutton runs this week. Now that looks good in the health report, Hutton runs, but not as good in the Hutton Helper stats. You do know you get a free Anaconda for going, don't you? Well, it's not free exactly. It costs 100 credits, but you do get to choose what colour it is. Come on, I'll save you a red one. You know red ones go faster. Are you hanging around the corridors of Hutton waiting for someone to give you the willies? Round the back of McThargoy's behind the Biffa bins, never on a Tuesday. Has your trip away to the old abandoned summer camp at the lake been cancelled? Well, don't sit around or you'll fall asleep, and that's when they come for you. Stay alert. How, you ask? Well, I'll tell you how. Just go to hot.forthemilk.com and download or sign up for the Hutton Helper before getting a baseball bat covered in barbed wire and nails so you can head out and show them who the real psycho is. Let's face it, anything has to be better than standing around in a graveyard listening to some weirdo whinging on about how they spelt his name wrong. Well, that's it for this week. Back to Studio 5.
Thank you, Mia. I do think it's easier to see what's going on than the sports report, no offence. What do you think, listener? Let us know. Now, as we've mentioned before, it's nearly Halloween, so it seemed quite appropriate for us to listen to Amelia Hawke scaring the bejesus out of us in the Galnet Rares Digest.
Good evening. This is Amelia Hawke reporting for the Galnet Rares Digest. We try all the galaxy's rarest and most dangerous commodities, so you don't have to. Cast your mind back to late 3305, when the generation ship Golconda was discovered intact and with descendants of the original crew still surviving aboard. The ship had drifted into the Upaniclis system after a journey of some 1,200 years among the stars. After so long on their own, they had developed a unique ship-based culture with their own rituals and traditions. The famously reclusive Golconda colonists agreed to move to a Federation-sponsored outpost, which proved more popular than the Imperial offer of a planetary base. This outpost was named Forester's Choice, to honour the Golconda's Captain Jonathan Forrester, and the cautious colonists moved into their new home to start new lives among the people of the 34th century. Well, I say among. They're about as far out into the Upaniclis system as it is possible to get, and they really keep to themselves to themselves. The cultural exchange hasn't been all one way, though. The inhabitants of Forester's Choice do have a gift to share with the rest of the galaxy, and that's why I'm here. Apavieti. It translates from Romanian as water of life, and is a spirit brewed aboard the Golconda during its long journey through the stars. My guide tells me that Apavieti came about during a breakdown in the Golconda's water recycling system about 200 years after launch. An unknown and toxic contaminant had entered the system, and the filters couldn't remove it, which resulted in many deaths. The ship's Romanian biologist teamed up with one of the engineers to provide a solution, which involved using biological elements such as algae to remove toxins from the water. A side product was an alcohol with a colour somewhere between the blue-green of absinthe and the rich emerald green of Maduri. But it's a potent brew. The beauty of the liquid and the effect that it has upon your brain really does render you speechless, in both senses of the word. The Golcondans liked the taste, and it really was the water of life for them. Through the years, the process was refined and ritualized. Golcondans treat Apavieti with an almost religious reverence. The production process is a closely guarded secret, the kind with actual guards guarding it closely. They only share true Apavieti very sparingly, and then only with esteemed guests who are staying aboard the station. But things are changing on Forester's Choice. I am with a specially invited group, and we have been told that there will be Apavieti at the end. I think I know what's going on. There are adverts announcing that red and yellow versions of the Golcondan spirit are coming soon. We must be here to try the new lines, which will be available to trade partners. We are led away from the busier part of the station to somewhere a bit more industrial looking. Our guide is very chatty, but the others are still a bit on the quiet side. They look at us in wonder. Maybe it's because they're still adapting to all the wonders of the 34th century. Or maybe it's because they have the same nose. They all have the same nose. And, well, they're not used to seeing such a diverse range of faces. We are DNA scanned, I assume for allergies, and given either red or yellow passes. Mine is red. Our guide reappears with the bottles of Appa Vietti. A small glass of each is poured for us. No ice, no mixer. It's an austere drink, so meant to be drunk neat. We taste the yellow first. The spirit of culture. It has a clean taste. It's a clean spirit with a delicious mix of chamomile, lavender, and honey flavors, almost like a gin, but not. Appa Vietti Red, the spirit of adventure. Oh, that's a fiery, spiced drink. The initial citrus twist of orange, it gives way to a warm wash of caramel, nutmeg, and a delicate smattering of cinnamon. And now we have the original, Appa Vietti itself, the spirit of the ancestors. It really does take your breath away. This is a delight, with incredible depth of flavor, refreshing on the palate with a smooth, crisp bite, but delivers a vigorous thump to the senses that literally takes your breath away once swallowed. I can see why they nicknamed it Quiet Green now. All three have a common, slightly mushroomy, umami, savory aftertaste, which I can't quite place. It must be something to do with the algae. I make small talk with the other guests, but something's wrong. Normally by this point in the proceedings, something is either trying to twist my head off, or eat me from the inside out, or, I don't know, entomb me somewhere for all eternity. I hate to say it, but I'm bored. I mean, where's the danger? I catch a glimpse of some metal piping behind one of those big blackout curtains. Maybe this is where they make this stuff. I'm Amelia Hawke, and I sneak around where I'm not supposed to, so you don't have to. I'm in. Well, this is the distillery, all right. Above me is a huge tank of clear spirit with pipes leading off to colour-coded vats. Red, yellow, and green. Well, that makes sense. I can see filters on the outlet pipes from each vat. They're clear, so I can even see the algae inside, which adds colour. Looking at the red vats, oh, that's so sweet. They named one of their red vats after me. I mean, it's empty for now, but I bet they have to fill it up and, producing Appa Vietti Red before long. I can see the green vats. They must have come from the Golconda. They look ancient, and they're named after crew members of the past. This is Captain Thorson, 3198 to 3277. It has one of those inspection hatches. Ah, yes, this is more like it. The smell hits you right away, and a light comes from inside the vat. What is that? Oh, you bastards. Oh, there's more than just the spirit of these ancestors in here. The vat isn't named after Thornson. It has Thornson inside to flavour the drink. I bet the algae is there for more than colour too. They probably use it to filter out the chunks. I give him a prod, but he's deader than Julius Caesar. He bobs about a bit and... oh, God. I can see his bollocks. Hang on, I drank that. No wonder it had a meaty aftertaste. So that means the Amelia Hawke vat isn't named after me. It's... shit, I have to tell the others. The time for sneaking is past. I run back to the reception room and everyone is still there hobnobbing. I shout at them. The Appa Vietti! It has the crew in it! There are people in the Appa Vietti! No, not the bottle, you stupid bastard. The drink, the Appa Vietti. It's people. The silent green is made from people. It's made from people. The guard is trying to lock us in, but it's a stampede now. I give him some spirit of adventure via a hefty kick to the hit location 13. Alarms are going off everywhere. Those who aren't throwing up are running for the docking bays, and I'm not hanging around either. I wish I had brought something more substantial than a hauler, but I doubt these yokels can work the defense turrets anyway. I'm out with a couple of the other ships. They do get to one turret, and they get it working, but I'm not their primary target, so I managed to sneak away. That was close, but I got away unscathed, and In the end, I managed to swipe a bottle of the green Apavieti. I know it's made from people, but it's delicious. Bottoms up. Oh, maybe not. Well, you know what I mean. I'm Amelia Hawke, and I nearly got made into a human cocktail today. So you don't have to. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Bottoms up.
Bottoms up, chaps.
I
Cheers.
tried so hard not to laugh in the middle of that. Do you know what? I should disappear for 6 weeks more often. Oh, God.
I drank that.
I think I've just injured myself laughing at your misfortune.
I did have another line there where Captain Thornton was a woman. You go, you know, it's like she turns around and I look into the face of a woman who's been dead for 1,000 years, and boobs. That was the other one. So I had to send it to Sean to choose what one would work better.
Which one was the ruder? Which was the more rude?
Amelia,
yeah.
I'm so sorry we sent you to try that stuff.
Apavieti from the Golcondan crew.
Yeah, but you got a whole bottle to yourself now.
I do. Shall I share it?
No.
You don't want to taste?
No.
Yeah. Well, maybe later.
Oh my goodness gracious me!
I don't care if it's in the captain's bollocks.
Just go on, just a sip. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's got alcohol in it, I'll have it.
Yeah.
This is that.
If it stands still long enough, you'll have it.
Say, I shouldn't have been worried about what happened to the Galnet Rares Digest while I was away. I'm going to injure myself. I think I'll give myself a hernia. Sorry, right. Serious face for a second. Amelia.
I've got a question. I have a question about that stuff.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
they were real bollocks.
Yeah, but what does it taste? What does it taste like?
Bollocks.
What does it taste like? Or does it vary from person to person?
Some will taste like bollocks. Some will taste like booze.
Yeah. Umami.
Right. Yes. Is it? Yeah.
It's savoury. It's very savoury and slightly salty.
Meaty, savoury.
Salty.
Yeah.
Meaty, salty.
What a birthday treat for you, Amelia.
Yeah.
That was
such a treat.
And that picture did feature a couple of genuine bull's testicles floating in that algae. that I found.
Right. I'm going to stop now. I've got tears running down my face. Right, I'm going to stop now. Now, we have a green room coming up, and I can see there's an awful lot of people listening to the stream at the moment, including the Happy Moon Monkey, who haven't turned up yet in the green room.
Sacrilege.
I know, it's terrible.
Get yourselves down now.
So what we're going to do, we're going to do the green room in a minute, and we're going to say hi to those who are in the green room, but we might pick on the stream chat and just say, give us a message or something and say hi, because, it's been a funny 18 months, 2 years, no, 18, what is it?
You haven't been gone that long.
It's not been funny at
all.
No,
I mean...
we would have noticed.
And we've spoken to Aidan, we've spoken to Litho Breaker, we've spoken to people over the last bit. But if you do have anything you want to say to us and pop in, say hi, that kind of thing, now is the time to do it over in the TeamSpeak server. So if you've got TeamSpeak and you want to go to TeamSpeak server ts.forthemug.com and drop in and say hi and wave at us, and then listen to Funky Abigail telling us about the Australian version of the Happy Birthday song, then now is the time to do it. If not, just put messages up in the stream chat and the
If you don't do it, they might take it away again.
Yeah, we don't want that.
I know. We'd hate that. So before we do that, we have to get ready. Maybe, for the green room.
Yeah, we've got some extra bits to do this week. Yes.
Are we going to just bring them in here? I mean, because the green room smells bad, and the chess game went wrong, and there were knives and danger and whatever else. So,
Happy Moon Monkey says in the chat something about disturbing children.
Right, well, don't do that.
Boo.
We'll just
He's
wave
talking
at
about
us.
you.
Happy Moon Monkey, just wave at us from the green room. But those who are in the green room, drag them in here, and there is something we're going to do first while we get ready. So do the thing, then we'll grab them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so we'll put a nice advert.
My sides hurt.
A nice advert from the from Canon. So thanks to LCU No Full Like one. We've got just over a minute while we get ourselves ready.
Ship is on the deck. Clamps engaged. Greetings, Cannoneer. Your laboratory awaits.
I saw a lot of Thargoid body parts in the galley the other day. I asked Dr. Arcannon what were they for. To put on top of my new Thargoid resin jam biscuits, of course, he said. Glossy Thargoid resin jam, layered between traditional shortbread biscuit with a big blob of glossy jam poking through the top. Rather spicy, don't you think? They are very, but then Dr. Arcannon always does make perfectly adequate biscuits.
Subject to availability, choking hazard may cause hull breach if improperly stored, not recommended for human consumption, may result in hyperspace conduit instability and Thargoid attacks. Canon Interstellar accepts no liability for any loss or damage from storing or consuming this product.
And we're back.
Where? What?
Wake up.
Hey.
Wake up.
Oh, sorry.
Look.
So some of them broke. So some of the team broke in from the green room, and
we dragged the others in here.
Are we going to do this traditional ways, or we're just going to find people, grab them, and talk to them?
No, Sean has assistant.
Dave, we've never done it right since you left.
No, I think we talk to the visitors first because they're far more important than we are.
Yes.
Are they all in the bottom?
And they have lives that they'd like to get back to.
Yes. Then when we start wittering amongst ourselves, they can go off and do something useful.
Commander Green Room.
Well, we have
still in the green room.
We have apologies from the listener as well. So we do have Putnik Santiago saying TeamSpeak is evil. I know it did bad things.
Is it evil
back
by
in the day,
itself?
but,
It's like TeamSpeak isn't evil. It's just the people who are on it.
Well, yeah, us. So Putnik Santiago. So I'd rather say hello here. Putnik Santiago, hello here.
And Okayam has welcomed you back to the show as well.
Oh, you flatterer, you shameless flatterer. But apparently you're listening in from the office, so we're not going to say any rude words to get you into trouble.
Over there in America.
Yeah, we've
because that'd be shit, wouldn't it, if we did that?
Yeah.
I've just thought of the absolute definition of irony, as if you made that green stuff out of vegans.
You're still on the green stuff.
Still on the green stuff.
Still on the green stuff. Vegan green stuff? That would be just algae.
I'm still thinking them up.
Yeah. It would just taste like algae, wouldn't it?
Well, it's a classic line about how can you tell if somebody's vegan?
They'll tell you.
Tastes like algae.
Oh,
they'll
they
tell
will
you.
tell you.
Definitely, yeah.
No, but maybe
OKM
maybe you could have
says
maybe you'll get your own.
delicious, OKM?
Maybe you'll get your own
Get help.
series. You know, your spin-off series. Stupid questions about algae that I need to ask.
and Commander Deadmeat GF says he's eating my kebab. You bastard.
Is that a euphemism?
I was going to say, I hope that's an actual kebab.
Is it badly packed?
Stop it.
Right. So who are we going to talk to first, and who's going to do the talking?
Well, you go and pick the order, and I'll write it down, and then remind you
Well,
why
I
you
can
got
pick
it
the order.
wrong.
I mean, I'm going to pick the order because I'm going to talk to Aiden first, and you work
You
out
do
the
that.
rest later.
Okay.
So, Commander Aiden.
Hello.
Oh, you've got a microphone that's loud.
And not a fan.
So we are.
What
And no helicopters in the background.
Didn't he get a new microphone months ago?
Yeah,
I know,
but it's
hey,
it's
I
first time
haven't
he's
been
heard
here.
it.
I haven't been here.
you can't hear his chopper for a change.
Commander Aiden, how are you this evening? How has your month been? How the blazes are you? And has anybody in the underground threatened to beat you up recently?
No, nobody has threatened to beat me up recently. Largely because I've not been in the country for the last week and a half.
All right, where have you been?
I'm currently in Mexico.
Where in Mexico? Are you Yucatan Peninsula or are you West Coast?
I'm just outside of Cancun.
Where?
Of where?
Hotel set, the hotel part of Yucatan. So.
Oh, fantastic! And
Cancun.
Yes.
And so, I mean, have you been visiting Shelha and Copomayo, Chichen Itza, those kind of places, or are you there with work?
No, work wouldn't pay me for coming out here. More's the pity. But no, I've been off to see the cenotes and Chichen Itza.
Oh, cenotes! Oh, have you been swimming in the underground cenotes or the surface ones?
The underground one.
Oh,
Well,
with the plants growing from the ceiling and the beam of light. Oh, beautiful.
Well, this was actually fully covered. Everything over the top was covered, apart from the small entrance.
Oh, a covered one.
Yeah.
They are wonderful, wonderful places. And are you feeling very hippie as a result? Have you been indulging in some of the local spices?
No.
No?
No. Largely for the simple reason of, well, A, there aren't any around here, and B, it's given my employers, they found out about it, they might take a dim view when
We won't tell anyone. So have you been to some of the old Mayan temples yet in that part of Mexico?
Chichen Itza was. Yes.
And did you go to the ball court where you make a sound at one end and it echoes and you can bounce back off the other end? And
yeah, the tour guide also showed us how to make the central. I don't know. The closest you describe it is pyramid. Is how that actually resonates with sound and all that lot. And that was. It's an engineering marvel, really.
It absolutely is. I mean, the Chichen Itza has been restored in modern times rather than being sort of the original, but it has been restored a bit, which I didn't realise when I went to see it, but it's just such a beautiful part of the world. I'm very, very jealous.
But, yeah,
and how is your hotel? Is it on the Caribbean coast there? I mean, have you managed to see the sunrise over the Caribbean?
Yes, it is a brand new hotel. It's got, NF near field communication door keys, so you get a wristband effectively and wave it at the door, and it lets you in. There's all sorts of other little bits. I mean, they've got actual USB plugs, so you don't have to. So if you have a USB connector, you can just charge all sorts of stuff.
Now, when I went there, for Europeans and Brits and people from far away, obviously this is a luxury holiday to go there. When I went there, unfortunately, we realised that it was a bit like going to Magaluf for Americans, which meant the swim up pool bar was full of a lot of Europeans and Brits who were treating this like a luxury place, and then the Americans with giant bucket-sized cups at the swim-up bar who were there to get pissed like they would in, Menorca, Mallorca, and Ibiza. Is it still the case over there?
There is most definitely quite a sizable colonial contingent over here.
Right, okay. And are they all getting drunk on unlimited alcohol?
Well, I suspect so. I mean, the adult section, which I shelled out for, does have a separate pool, and they've got foam parties and all that lot. Yeah, there is.
It sounds like one of Commander Hankey's tour buses out to Colonia.
Yes, it's entirely possible. But yeah, certainly one of the things yesterday was part of the trip included some taste testing of various varieties of tequila and mezcal. If you treat it with the due respect, are actually quite nice.
Yeah. And plan on not waking up any time in the next 48 hours, yes.
Well, that's if you don't treat it with respect.
Well, no. Respect involves drinking as much as you can while you're there.
Had very interesting experience in Oaxaca. We went there for the Day of the Dead celebrations. We were going around villages, and I was fed a lot of mezcal that was homemade by a guy in a Coke bottle. This stuff, and I thought this was going to be a bit poisonous, but quite the opposite. Mezcal, when you have it in the pure form, has a very strange effect. You can drink it. It's almost like a rare. You drink it, and then suddenly your legs don't work anymore. At all. Everything else works fine, but your legs don't work at all. And then I woke up next morning without a scintilla of a headache. And my wife thought I was very unlucky. It was bad luck, she thought. I should have done.
Did your legs come back?
Yes.
Excellent.
But no, certainly the mezcal I tried yesterday was very nice. But yeah, there seems to be quite a bit of a Mayan resurgence, or at least Mayan cultural resurgence going on at the moment, which is actually not a bad thing. But other than that...
And are there iguanas wandering around your hotel?
Nope, was a... Well, actually, Canadian-run company.
Mm-hmm.
So they're probably, if there were iguanas, they might have ended up on the grill.
Oh, I can definitely understand that one. Well, I'm just sharing with some of the radio team some pictures from where you've been staying, including a guy with an enormous bucket of tequila. But no, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself, and I mean, thank you so much for calling in from the Yucatan. I'm assuming you're enjoying yourself, and you're very chilled out. You sound very relaxed.
Yeah, well, I've not been in the office for the best part of 3 weeks now, so...
How long have you been out there? All 3 weeks?
Yeah, last day in the office, it'll be, I think it was the 10th. No, the 9th, I was last in the office. And I haven't been back since.
All right, well, it's a wonderful part of the world, and it's very flat, isn't it? Apart from the pointy temples.
It's flat-ish. There are
that part of Mexico is very flat.
It's not as hilly as some areas, but it's still comparatively, I mean, you don't, great mountains and crap like that. You still end up with, right elevations and depressions, as the saying goes.
Well, yeah, ripples from the asteroid that landed and nearly wiped out everybody but the dinosaurs. Right, well, look, thank you so much for joining us from your holiday. It's a pleasure to hear from you.
Yeah, and...
I'm going to assume you have not been flying any spaceships because you're on holiday.
No, I would just say... I'm just waiting for to see what the duty free is like on the way back.
And how much of the various local liquors you can bring back?
Well, I'm seeing that's part of it, but I need to, if nothing else, see what the price of some nice is, because I'm running a little low at home.
Fair enough. Well, look, lovely to speak to you. And I'm now going to hand over to the next person on the crew to talk to the next person from our guests.
That would be me, I guess.
Yes, that's you. To talk to the lovely Funky Abigail.
Funky Abigail, how are you?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you just
fine. Woo! That means I set up my microphone. properly.
Nice. You got a new
Yay.
microphone.
Oh, I had to reinstall Windows, and you know how it is.
Yes, the dreaded Windows installation.
Yes. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
From sunny Australia.
We've missed you.
G'day.
I've missed everyone here. I've been sort of recovering a bit. We've been in extended lockdowns. Melbourne, where I live, is like the world record for the longest lockdowns due to the pandemic, and it's just been so draining on everyone here.
I can only imagine.
And so I've been like recovering and 3D printing and COVID hobbies, basically.
COVID hobbies. I never heard anyone
Yes.
say refer to them as that. COVID hobbies. I guess we all picked up a lot. So what was it? 3D printing? Was there anything else?
Painting, growing mushrooms. What else did I
What kind of
try?
mushrooms?
Not the magical kind, if you're wondering.
Oh.
I started with shiitake
Nice
mushrooms.
choice.
They're
Oh, nice.
very tasty, and they're relatively easy to grow.
So
and I'm
I'm guessing
from spawn. So
spawn.
yeah.
So
they were
I'm guessing you got a big block of
spores.
wood to grow them in.
Yes. Oh, sawdust. They're like
Sawdust.
wood and sawdust works. But I also have been trying some oyster mushrooms.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been growing them in. They're in fruiting jars at the moment. So the mycelium is growing in grain.
That is
I
so cool.
haven't moved them to a tub yet, so yeah, it's a
That
hobby.
is very cool. Oh, and when you say painting, do you mean miniatures or walls?
No, acrylic on canvas type stuff.
Actual like painting,
Actual
like the proper,
painting,
like it's
yes.
art kind of painting.
Yes.
Nice. What have you been
so,
painting?
I tried my hand at painting a planet and one of the ships from Elite, and that's a work in progress.
Are you going to post it up to the Facebook
but,
group when you can see it when you're done?
Eventually, yeah.
That'd be cool.
I'm not actually. I actually gave up on Facebook for mental health reasons, and I haven't looked back. Every so often, I'll check messages there, but it just it was just a huge time sink, time waster.
Do you
and
feel
also,
better from doing it?
I feel so much better. So
can
much
imagine.
better. Like I took Reddit off my phone. I stopped using Facebook. The only kind of persistent kind of infinite scroll thing that I've yet to be able to kick is YouTube, and that's just like TV. It's just like channel surfing.
Yeah. Bit like
so,
Netflix, but with
just
no
Yeah.
monthly payments and a few extra adverts.
yeah, yes. Just to try and be a bit more productive and not be a couch potato.
Yeah.
Which is good for my recovery. I don't know if you saw a while back I posted something about the various health problems I had on the Facebook group.
I don't actually do much in the way of social media
Oh,
either.
okay.
I kind of
yeah, okay.
I kind of live vicariously through my radio teammates here. They tell me what's going on most of the time.
Fair
and
enough.
and then I go and
Well-
have a look,
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I've got a number of chronic health conditions, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, and
Jesus.
yeah, and chronic depression. And yeah, I've ticked like 2 of those. I've like kicked their asses, and I've only got chronic fatigue left to kind of get a handle on. So
Nice.
it's been,
Oh,
yeah,
well
it's
done.
been really good. Yeah, thanks. So, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, for my birthday, I got to drink bollocks.
No, we're eating
yeah,
cake.
yeah.
You have to do that. We're eating cake.
Okay, I'll try and get some cake. Well, it's 9 in the morning here, so I
Good
can
morning.
actually go out and get some cake after this. But
Nice.
every Australian knows this. We have our own like second verse of Happy Birthday when we sing it.
Yes.
And I thought it was just like everyone knew this, but I have friends from overseas who've never heard it before, and it just yeah, I guess it's a cultural thing. But after everyone's done singing Happy Birthday,
Yeah.
someone will start singing the Aussie verse is basically why were they born so beautiful? Why were they born at all? Because they had no say in it, no say in it at all. And that's it.
Cool. I have never heard that.
No, I've never heard that either. That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's like every Aussie knows that.
Did someone get that so we can write it down and memorize it?
Yeah, we're going to add it to the next one we do.
Awesome.
Nice.
But
Cool.
Abigail,
So,
it's a joy to hear you. I'm sorry, I know I'm butting across somebody else's conversation, but do you know what? I have been away from home for 6, 7, 8, God knows how many weeks, and I have to say it's a joy to hear from you.
Oh, thank you.
And hearing these familiar voices and faces of my radio team friends here and the Green Room friends, it is a joy to hear from you.
Oh, thanks. That really means a lot to me.
No, it is,
Yeah,
and it's. I've missed everybody so much. So, Abigail, from me, and I'm going to butt back out again in a second. But no, for the mug, for me, because it's lovely to hear from you.
Oh, the
Thank
feels.
you. That just made my day. Oh, I'm not crying. You're crying. It feels good to be back and playing Elite again. And I'm actually I've signed up to become a Hull Seal as well, just to kind of bring something back to the community.
And of course, Abigail.
That was meant to be a seal.
That's David's real voice.
I got that.
Abigail, it's your video that Abigail, it's your video that we use as the background for our show most weeks.
Yes, you're in the credits every week.
I noticed that.
Yes.
Yeah, I have noticed that. I'm quite chuffed.
Yes, well, we'll put it out there without saying thank you.
Legendary.
Pardon?
Thank you. Well, I mean, capturing that much video is a lesson in patience. I think I was reading a book at the time as well.
You had time to write one, let alone read one.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it from me. Good to be back, and I'll
You have to see the magic
talk to you
pots.
all.
You have to see the
for the mug.
For the mug.
For the mug.
For the mug.
Which moves us on to Mia saying we've got a new person coming in, Volcarius. Mia.
Volcarius. Now Volcarius is. You know you've won a decal this week, don't you?
So you say.
Yes.
I'm actually a bit perplexed. See, we tried a bit of an experiment this week, and it did not quite go as expected. For you see, the result as read by thee.
Yes.
I did not claim 1,111,111,111 credits.
Oh, because on the
if you look
helper.
a little bit more carefully, you'll see that I claimed 1,111,111,000.
Hang on a minute. Did you cheat the system?
Yeah. Wait.
Let me check this. I have to.
Are you saying you don't want to beat Alex because you just come and whop your ass?
Let's have a look
Admit it,
at
you
this.
got the numbers wrong.
I'll admit nothing.
Apologise.
Yes.
Apology, officer.
The only thing I can do is to apologise. What must you think of me? I can see it now. I've let you down. And
It's got numbers, and you just fell asleep halfway through, didn't you?
Yeah, I just looked and went, "Oh, they're the same." I moved on. I didn't get all the.
That's why your job as an accountant didn't last long.
There were too many
isn't it?
ones. There were too many ones, and I lost track. I do apologise.
We
I'll put
won't
a proper
take it back.
apology in.
Caris, please accept a Hutton decal as compensation for the sloppy work done by the apology officer.
In fact, as proper compensation, you can have one for the other side of your ship as well.
Yeah. So do email itookpart@huttonorbital.com and
claim your Hutton decal.
And the decal gremlin will sort it out for you, won't I?
Yes.
Yes.
So, other than shooting things and getting up to 1,111,111,110 credits worth of bounties, what else have you been up to?
Honestly, writing a piece of code that would enable us to claim exacting amounts of bounty.
That's okay. Is there a reason for this? Because I noticed last week, I think it was Alex Zuno had
the exact same.
444,444,444. Is this a competition?
That would be the week before last.
A week
there
before
was
last.
another 1,100,000,100.
That was a 1,111,111,111, wasn't it?
And it seemed like a good idea.
Yeah, it's completely
Honestly,
pointless, which is very Hutton.
The idea originally, we found out that when you've got a lot of different bounty for different factions due to a kill warrant scanner, in fact exclusively due to a kill warrant scanner.
Yes.
If you've got more than 256, which you may recognise as a power of 2 there, it doesn't let you claim them all. Like at the interstellar factors, you have to do one by one until you get below 256 bounties.
Ah.
And that kind of gave us the idea of, well, if you've got enough of these things and you are claiming them one by one, you should statistically be able to hit any number as long as it's within the range, approximately in the middle.
You've had a lot of time in your hands, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was really curious as to what you would do if the hit total was 1 off.
Sort of makes Carol Vorderman look a bit dumb, doesn't it?
It turns out what I would actually do is miss it.
It was a very good result, and especially an actual apology from the apology officer, which should happen once per show, but doesn't.
There will be one. There will be one in next week's Hutton Helper results, but you got a decal out of it, which is you were actually second place, but we
I'm sorry, Steward's inquiry. Steward's inquiry on this one.
Yes.
For sheer honesty.
Oh no, he gets his decal. No two.
No. For sheer honesty and the Carol Vorderman-esque side of things.
Yes.
Commander Palantir.
Yes.
Can you check under your chair there? Is there anything sort of with a handle spare? Under your chair there.
No, behind the wine bottles.
Anymore.
Yeah, I know, behind those ones. I mean, for number one, for the Carol Vorderman-esque mathematical calculation there, and number two, for the sheer honesty to admit that we got it wrong, and the numbers weren't quite right there. I'm pretty sure that is behaviour becoming of a Hutton trucker.
Yes.
Seconded.
Agreed.
Can I have we have a second? Do we have a third on that one?
Seconded.
Thirded.
Fourth.
Yeah. In which case, Commander Palantir, do we have a spare something with a handle under your chair there?
Which
not
that. It's actually sitting in a
chamber pot. No,
it's sitting somewhere in North Britain.
Is it in North Britain? And do we think we might be able to lay our hands on something with a handle to send?
I'm sure we will be able to.
For sheer honesty.
I think the achievement, the exact numbers achievement, is really good as well. I'm really
Well, yeah.
impressed with that. Yeah,
Exactly.
The utter
Yeah,
pointless
properly
waste of
pointless.
time that was this.
How much more mug-like do you want? Yes.
Yes.
So I'm pretty sure that epic achievement are those numbers this week, and the sheer honesty to say that actually I didn't, I got this number instead, it has to be worthy of a Hutton mug. A
Yes.
genuine, original,
Cannot be
rare
bought,
as
yes.
rare can be.
It's been a
Hutton
while
mug.
since we've given one of those out.
Agreed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And I have to say that Volcarius, that behaviour is definitely worthy of it. So we are quite happy to award you the Order of the Hutton mug and send you one of those out if you're happy to share your details with us so we can post it. So yes, congratulations for being legendary in Hutton circles. That's pretty special.
Well, thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah.
You can buy fake ones on the internet. These are the legit ones. These are the
proper
non-red
frame shift plate. Frame
Yeah.
shift drive.
Huttons
rated.
in focus and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you email I took part at huttonorbital.com, I will sort you out, mate. Sort you out.
He'll sort you out. Right.
with a covering letter and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From Alvin, you get a special letter from Alvin.
Oh, you do? Yeah,
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. So, Volcarius, anything else going on with you?
Oh, I think that should be it for now.
Don't show off.
My work here is complete. I am done.
Unless you got a favourite.
As a Hutton mugger, I think you need to say the words.
Oh well, I was going to say unless you've got a favourite number or a lucky number, I can try and hit it this week if you want.
Oh, get all eights, please.
Yeah, if you can just get the lottery numbers for us, that'll be
That'll
fine.
challenge you. That's a lot of bounties. All eights.
13 million, 13 billion, 13 million and 3. And that's it. Just all zeros the rest of the
I think we
way.
have to do.
I think 13 billion might be a bit of a challenge.
That's it. That's enough. That's enough self-indulgence. Team.
Yeah. So, can we
it'll be all
before somebody puts the numbers up, you better say the magic words.
Fine. I was going to say Hail the Empress, but for the mug.
That'll teach you.
Be a broken mug.
Chicks, you're to talk to. Oh, Litho.
Hello, Jim.
Hello. How are you doing?
Got a new motor.
Slippers.
Slippers.
Slippers?
I've lost mine.
Slippers of the art. How are you? What have you been up to? Have you downloaded Update 8?
I've downloaded Update 8. I've been making rude gestures at Dead Meeting game.
I bet you've been pressing Control F, haven't you?
That as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Once.
not good news. I get phenomenal frame rate in the station, beautiful frame rate in space. I land on the planet and 9,
Not so good.
8, 5. Yeah.
I got the same, and I realised that my graphics card was really pushing it. So I've got a big external fan, stuck it on there, and no problem with frame rates.
Nice. Unfortunately, I didn't have that solution. I've turned my shadow quality way down, and it's gone back up to somewhere in the 40s, which is very playable. So that'll do me for now. Yeah.
Apart from the interdiction bars being back, that's all I've noticed. I've played it for 45 minutes tonight.
Yeah, I've played it a bit this evening, done a few missions in Barnard Star, trying to keep the place up and happy.
I've been there as well.
Funny that. Seems like there's quite a lot of truckers going there missioning at the moment. I've just dropped out a game to focus on talking without crashing into anything. So
Good move.
because I'm very, very bad at that, or good at that, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, I come out of game because my joystick is where my mouse arm is, and it's bolted to the table. So not the mouse, the joystick.
I was going to say that must be hard to move your mouse.
Yeah. So what else have you been doing?
Spending a week in France with work.
Oh,
That was fun.
God, you're not fisherman, are you?
No, south of France, Toulouse, very nice city. Horrifying and terrifying to drive through, but other than that, beautiful city.
Why is it terrifying to drive through?
Because
wrong side of the road, obviously, but
well, not so much that as most of it's pedestrianised, but it's still cars welcome. It's just pedestrian priority. So it's a road that's about 8 inches wider than a car.
Yeah.
with bikes coming the other way. Because they may be one way for cars, but they're two way for bikes and scooters and motorbikes.
Now, were you involved in an accident? That wasn't your fault.
Thankfully, no, I was in the passenger seat.
Which is on the usual side of the car.
Yeah.
You find yourself stamping the footwell every now and again.
Yeah. Well, it was obviously a hire car. We were over there, and my whole team from work was over there for a big site visit and stuff. But so the team leader, the manager, was driving, which was always fun to dump it on the boss, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
And it was a hire car, but it was a hybrid. So, of course, it's almost silent.
Yep.
So there's people just strolling along the street ahead of you, completely oblivious to the fact that there's a car behind them.
They're aware of something behind them.
And they're like less than a foot ahead of the bumper of this car. And they think, oh, get out the way. Great fun.
So you do know. Oh, you're back, aren't you? You do know the when you boss hires a car, the night before you're due to give it back, you all go out for an Indian and leave all the empty cartons under the seats.
We couldn't do that. We had bookings at all sorts of amazing restaurants in the middle of town. One of the guys, it's his local site on my team. So he was tasked with a very important job before we went. He made all the reservations.
Excellent.
And he has very good taste in restaurants.
Mm.
And in another month, I'll have lost all the weight I put on while I was over there.
So any sort of anything tour news? Any amphibians? Any
mollusks? No one that did amphibians or mollusks. Very nice steak tartare one night.
With Amelia. She'll put you straight on eating all that weird crap.
No.
Umami.
I had a Korean meal the other night, and like that green stuff, it was the dog's bollocks.
Delicious.
I heard you there, Amelia. That's all right.
Careful, you're dicing with death there.
Oh, God, here he goes. What? It's like, the joke that was once mine is now yours. So are you looking forward? I don't know when it's going to come. It's probably, they're 4 or 5 week intervals now, aren't they? But
yeah.
2-man SRV.
Oh, looking forward to that one. I could be the passenger while somebody else drives, just like him. No,
somebody else shoots. No,
yeah.
Somebody else shoots. Shotgun.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely
plasma cannon.
Yeah, it's going to be really useful having somebody in the turret on an SRV, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the turrets are great, but you kind of have to put the handbrake on to use them.
Well, you kind of like. There's nothing for 5 kilometers in front of me. Right, I'm going in the turret.
Yeah. Oh shit! Where did that rock come from?
Yeah, the invisible ones.
Yeah.
I'm still not convinced they've been taken out of the game. I haven't run into one for weeks and weeks, but I'm sure they're still there somewhere.
I've not seen one. Yeah, that works, doesn't it? I've not encountered one since they said they'd fixed it. But yeah, I'd certainly run into them before.
It's like, young Jim, I didn't see you at camouflage practice this morning. Oh, thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, it's been a relatively quiet time for me. Not so much for the wife. Somebody crashed into her car on a roundabout, but she was turning right. They were ignoring the fact it was a roundabout, so it was entirely their option and their problem. So we don't mind too much. Nobody hurt, so nothing serious.
Yeah, it's always a pain in the ass, though, isn't it?
Yeah, thankfully, because it was their fault, we got a decent hire car out of it for the 2 weeks I was away, and it'll be back soon.
She'll have a stream of people now ringing her up. You had an accident? That wasn't your fault.
Probably. Yeah, like we don't get that already.
That's one of the reasons I got rid of a landline.
Yeah.
What a crap.
Well, we have exactly 2 things that use our landline: the in-laws and spam calls.
Oh, really?
So
well, it's like they both have something in common. You don't know the difference between in-laws and outlaws.
Go on.
Outlaws are wanted.
Yeah.
Oh,
so yeah, thankfully we've got caller ID on it, so it's either them that's calling or they can off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, other than that, it's been a quiet couple of weeks. So I guess after spending that long chatting, I'll just say for the mug and let us catch up some of the time that we've lost to all of the David.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome back.
Yeah. Rudolph.
Which makes it now.
What? Sorry, pardon. No, I was talking to Valeran.
Shut up.
I was talking to
Flossie,
Commander Valeran.
Don't do that.
What?
It's Flossy talking to Dowsy now.
Yes.
No, what?
We don't want any more out of you.
Hey,
you've done your
Mate.
bit.
I was trying to find the banter bus. What?
Towsy. I have to talk to
I'm
Towsy.
going to go away. Bye.
Oh, okay, bye. Hi, Towsy.
You're in charge.
Hi, Flossy. Can you hear me?
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I haven't caught the radio show for weeks. I've always watched it on YouTube. I've tended to fall asleep in the evenings.
Oh dear.
Got that old man thing going.
I think we're all doing that with the length of this
I know
show.
that one.
Yeah.
God, it's nearly tomorrow.
But I was back in the game tonight. And
All right.
I got a frame rate greater than 0.
Oh, that's good.
It's an improvement, yeah.
Yeah. I know I've not had any problems with frame rates, but I do understand that some people do.
I've had to stick with Horizons, and every so often I try Odyssey, and I got a new cooler for my CPU to try and stop it from choking. But yeah, tonight I was able to play in Odyssey and wander around the surface and in bases and do 2 missions.
Oh, nice.
And it was not too difficult for me to continue. I get very testy with it.
Yeah, I've just got my main character on Odyssey at the moment. I've got a few other commanders that are still on Horizons. So I flip between the two depending what I'm doing.
Yeah, I saw your gestures on Facebook.
Oh yeah, I had great fun doing them.
At the end of one of my missions, I was able to wave at the NPC as I left.
Yeah, did you wave
really
back?
Please. No.
I got a wave back yesterday. I was in one of the stations doing these emotes, and I thought I'll just try this. So I sort of, you have like a little dot you can land on somebody with, and then if you wave at the person that the dot's on, they wave back. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
So
I've already forgotten which.
I did a salute as well, and I got a salute back. So I can see me having a lot of fun with these emotes.
Yeah, I posted a link in the on-air room tab to YouTube Fantastic Fungi, the magic ethos that I thought Funky Abigail might be interested in.
All right.
If you're still there, the sort of the main guy in it, the professor of mushrooms, his name is the name of the character in Star Trek, the new Star Trek series, the engineer who's all about the mushrooms.
All right.
They named him after this professor of mushrooms.
Yeah. Oh, I'll have to have a look at that later.
That's something I learned the day before yesterday.
It's interesting.
But fantastic fungi.
Stamets, you know, the...
yes, Stamets.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mycologist.
Yes. Yeah, he's pretty good. Doing good work with fungi and health issues.
Yeah.
So fantastic fungi, worth a look on YouTube.
Yeah, I'll have a look at that a bit later. So, how are you liking Odyssey then? Now that you're managing to play it?
Well, I think I've liked it since the beginning. I'm still really hoping they'll get around to letting me walk around my ships. I mean, how could they not?
Well,
it's getting there.
Possibly they will.
Star Citizen sold nothing but
But they don't have
walking
proper
inside
space.
your ship.
All you can do is
They
walk
sold
around the ship.
millions of all you can do is walk around your ship. Yeah.
May I interject at this point?
Yeah, indeed.
Flossie,
yes.
do you mind if I jump in at this point?
Not at all, help yourself.
As somebody who, with the team at HCS, I've been programming the voice packs for work with Star Citizen as well as Elite, and I play Star Citizen and I log in and I wake up in my bed and I get out of my bed and I stand up and I walk out the door and I walk to the lift and I get the lift and then I walk down the corridor and I get to somewhere and then I have to get a bus or a train
God, like going to
or
work,
a
isn't it?
spaceship to the place I'm going to, and I get on the bus and I look at the bus and the bus is glorious and it's stunning.
Yeah,
And then I get to my destination and I get out of my bus and I go to a terminal. I get my terminal and realise that I have to reclaim my ship. I reclaim my ship and I get onto the pad and I push the various buttons to take off and whatever else, and I get down to my mission, and you hit the inevitable, as you do with many of these space games, Vintage Star Citizen or Elite or No Man's Sky, you hit a bug and the box is somewhere beneath the floor. So you log out, log in again, and you realise you're in your bed. And you've got to get out of your bed, and you've got to go out the door, and you've got to walk to the lift, and you've got to hit the lift, and
That would drive me nuts.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that.
And it's
like with
yeah.
any Word document, you've got to save regularly.
No, there's no save. There's no
I know,
save.
I know.
Oh,
They can fix that, surely.
So, yeah. I am still
I did
100% through and through Elite. If Flossy logs out and I log out on a planet, as we have done, Flossy.
We have, yes.
Yes, and then we've got the SRV out and I log back in again. I can turn around and I can see Flossy in front of me and think, oh, I'm safe. She's going to drive me home. And that alone is worth every penny of what I've spent on Elite. The knowledge that Flossy is going to drive me home afterwards when I'm in a serious
But don't drive you home, I'll drive you bonkers, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm going to butt out now.
No, I like that. I did some free fly in Star Citizen, and it's great. I love it, and I love. I've been playing Elite since beta, and I spend such a lot of time in there that I have to hide the amount of time that I spend in there. But the walking about the ships, I spend most of my time in a Type 10 in an asteroid field. I'd like to walk around the ship.
Oh, no, I don't disagree with you at all, one bit. And apart from the fact that when I play the other thing, I go to climb in my ship, click the button, and it throws me through the far door every single time.
Yeah.
But, and I trip over stuff on the landing pad. This is not a criticism. They're all space, and space is awesome, and the games are awesome, but it's difficult.
Yes. Yes, the what is it? Collision detection.
Yes.
It's all about particles banging into each other.
I have one thing in Star Citizen that I was an experience where I wish Elite was this cool. That when we're programming the things, we're working at HCS on it. We have some of the big gaming groups coach us on the stuff they've afforded or bought or paid for. And one of the guys had one of the ships that had turrets. So he flew up outside a pad, and I ran out the pad, and I jumped off the pad and EVA'd into the back of his ship. I mean, a proper, like, Iron Man flew to the back of his ship and jumped in a turret and went to a combat zone and got in a turret. And I have to say, the turret experience, multi-crew combat turret thing, there is one aspect of that game that is better. Only one. And that's me being in a turret, kicking ass for one evening was the only thing that was better.
Yeah, I never think of it as better or worse. I mean, Star Citizen, I can't run it on my computer. It's too slow.
Oh, yeah. I got about 6 frames a second on a 3080. It was
one day
terrible.
I'll get a better computer.
Yeah.
One day.
No. But I have to say, we all love space. I mean, everybody in here loves like space and spaceships and flying and combat and whatever else. And we're never going to be disparaging about
No,
the work that the other people do.
I used to fly Microsoft Flight Simulator to the space launch base at Canberra and take off from there in Orbiter Sim and fly out to the moon in that, and then get into my spaceship in X3 and fly off on that. So I would happily fly from one place to another in one game and then jump into a spaceship at that station. Yes, it's the being in space. I really love it.
Yeah, and I'm really sorry, Flossy, for cutting across you there.
That's quite all right.
It's just that, they're all cool. They're all great games, and these people that say, "I'm going to hang up my hat and I'm off to play that one because this one's rubbish." So no, that one's equally as rubbish in different ways.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Yes, but they're all awesome because we all get to fly spaceships, and it's all great. So I'm going to hand back to you now.
Okay.
Yay, Flossy.
Aye, okay then. So
But yeah, I like the running around and trying to, complete a simple mission. Go and collect something from somebody, which was the one I did today. That was quite good. Locate a person.
Yeah,
Just
I haven't done
walking
anything
about
like
and
that yet.
Nobody's shooting at me. I don't like that.
Yeah. I enjoy going around on the planets and finding new plants. But then that's not new stuff. I haven't really done much since the new stuff came out. All I've really done is the emotes. Because I've not really played a lot this last week or so, I must admit. Been doing other things.
I've become quite fluent at resetting for going to Frontier or back to Odyssey or back to Frontier.
Yeah.
Resetting the controls and the graphics setup because I can still manage in Horizons, I meant, not Frontier. In
Yeah,
Horizons,
I know what you mean.
I can still do mining in VR, but even that's got slowed down.
You see, VR is something I've not really touched much because I tend to get a bit of a headache.
Yeah, I can't manage it for long. It's very exhausting. But it's so great to be in the spaceship.
Yeah,
In fact,
I do like VR.
It's so good. I've got to go now.
Oh, VR's awesome.
And get my spaceship out.
Right up until you vomit.
I can't play it all the time in VR.
Yeah. No,
only short periods.
That's where the frame rate really matters to me. I want a bigger,
By the way, if
faster-
anybody's confused by the echo, I've just invited Valoran and Waz into the room, and we've managed to get the audio working, but it does mean a small echo, so I'm sorry about the echo.
All right.
That's my fault.
I thought that was in my head.
Me too.
Oh, you can hear what's in my head. Excellent.
Well, I could hear the echo.
It's a bad place. Your head. Oh, that was terrible.
It's full of
All right.
mushrooms. Anyway,
Right.
I gotta go, and I'll say.
Okay
for the
then.
mug.
It's a joy.
Thank you for the mug. Enjoyed speaking to you. Thank you.
Which means I'm talking to Valoran.
Good evening. How are you?
I asked the questions. Go on. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
And what have you been doing?
As little as possible. I'm waking up late. I work in a school and it's half term, so I'm having a great time. Not doing a lot.
Yeah.
As for in-game, I'm just collecting materials to upgrade my suits and weaponry for the Odyssey bits and pieces. We keep wearing out our welcome at various systems and having to move somewhere else.
Have you been listening to that Rampage?
Yes, we've been out quite a lot.
Well, you don't. Him and Hanky just whatever they say, do the opposite.
It is quite fun listening to those two, actually. So Rampage and the Hanky Clones. It's a bit of a sitcom.
Well, it is, but you've no idea what either of them are saying, have you?
Not really.
No.
They're above the M4. It's all a bit northern.
M4? That's southern.
That's the north-south divide, as far as I'm concerned.
That's way down south.
Wars have started over less.
They have indeed.
Started over a couple of bloody flowers, for goodness sake, you know.
We have important questions. Where is the Banter bus?
The Banter bus itself, the special effect is still in Ball 1481. Those of us that normally on it, we moved over to LHS 1547, I believe it's called. We've been working out of there for a few weeks, and a bit of
Might be
notoriety.
1541 there.
Could be 1541. That's actually probably right. I just look where the carrier is and find it. And we've just moved over to Imperial Space to upset them for a bit, so that we can go back to our normal systems later.
Are you wearing togas?
There are togas.
There are togas.
There have to be
Excellent.
togas.
And have you spoken to Baz recently?
I spoke to him about 2 weeks ago now, or yeah. He's doing well. He's still looking forward to getting back into it, and it's just a case of
Just wait for COVID to disappear so we can kidnap Baz.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
safely.
No, he's very much looking forward to it and getting back involved.
And other than you, do you want to name check the Banter Bus crew?
Yeah. So more often than not, it's Rampage, a Hanky clone, myself, and Tanis, which is he's managed to get his original character back from out near Beagle Point. So Argon Tanis is on the back burner for the moment, and Tanis is building up. And we've been winging up and doing a lot of ground missions.
Busy.
So, I'm cutting across the interviewers terribly this evening. So yeah, but it's lovely to hear from you, and we will be talking to Baz sometime soon, I hope.
Yes, yeah, he popped in a few weeks ago in the chat. He was in game as well.
Yeah,
yeah. He came on.
Was he kicking ass?
He was. He'd been away from the game for a bit, so it's a case of remembering where he put his keybinds for some of it, which frustrated him a little.
Yeah, it's bound to. It's bound to.
Yeah, it does for all of us when we've been away for a couple of weeks and then keep hitting the wrong button.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm terrible.
You should
for that.
see me fly. Sorry, I'm going to back off now and
Well, it's your
go back
turn.
to our interview.
No, don't, because you're going to be talking to Waz in a minute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah. I'm sorry I haven't been around for a while. I've
don't apologise.
I've been teaching
No.
Army cadets on a Thursday night, and I don't get home in time.
Do not apologise. It's just nice to hear from you.
Yeah. No, I completely forgot I was supposed to be teaching tonight, and because it's half term and I don't know what day it is. And I got a phone call and it was already half an hour into it, asking where I was. In the kitchen. It wasn't the appropriate answer, but but yeah. So yeah.
Well, look, thank you for popping in, and speak soon.
Yeah, definitely. We'll speak soon. Thank you very much. And for the
right,
mug.
For the mug. So, Waz.
Yes, sir.
Hang on a second. Because we get echo from Verlaran. Verlaran, is it okay if we mute you for a second?
No problem at all.
Yeah, no worries. We'll put you back up in the Banter bus.
Oh, yeah. Oh, all right.
Right, Waz.
Yes, sir. As I say it again.
Oh, we've missed you. How are you?
Doing good.
How are the islands south of South Britain, and North France?
Yeah, doing okay. That's all I've got to say to that.
And how are you generally? How is space? How is your ASP, Anaconda, Python insert ship here?
It's just I've just got myself out of being in Slough for a bit. Just doing
Slough?
some missions there. Yeah.
I lived there once.
I've been through it. That's enough.
It's a terrible place. Sir
Also
John
got my-
Benjamin, come friendly bombs and fall on Slough.
Also got a new mic as well.
We have noticed it awesome.
Yeah, mid-tier mic, but it does its job.
Yeah, we can hear you. It's great.
Yeah, it's not bad for a Yeti Nitro.
But other than that, I mean, how are you in space? What you up to?
Well, considering I could have screamed at this game last night because it wasn't letting me to work, so I had to uninstall and reinstall it.
Okay.
And somehow that worked till about 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, God, I got to go to sleep. So I'm just picking up missions and just basically just doing material gathering.
And so where in the galaxy are you?
Back in my home base in Bernard Star.
Okay. And have you spotted the enemy there? Sneaking up on Hutton.
What, I mean, you mean the 10th Fleet? Who were they again? Who were they again? Did we knock them out the first time?
Nah.
Well, if
They've kidnapped a base and being a bit naughty.
Which base? We talking about ground or station?
Well, we have to ask Commander Chicks, who is the
Silver's
maestro of the hot pit.
And they've just taken. Hang on, I'll just go over to. They've just taken a settlement as well, which is it's one of the new ones. Just bear with me, talk amongst yourselves.
It's fine.
Nakano Engineering Installation. They won that in the war. They was it a war or an election? Forget.
That was so well timed.
But last week.
Does that mean I can get to blow some stuff up then?
Yes, don't write it down.
Oh, yes.
Nakano, like Meccano, but with a N.
I think I'll speak to my BGS worker.
Like Meccano, but with more nuts.
Yes.
Well, they're going to have less nuts after this.
Significantly. We're going to have
Fewer.
Lots of bolts with
I've just
no
broken
nuts.
a pencil here, sorry.
God, I could crush a grape. Yes, so
They have bitten off more than they could chew.
Umami.
Didn't we kick him out? Didn't we kick him
it's
out
not
of
a
the
bollocks
system
skin,
last
is it?
time?
We were talking about
We'd have got
nuts.
Well, that was
No.
wasn't that the original incarnation of 10 Fleet, not this new sort of
Oh, there's a
pseudo
long
mob.
and complicated story behind it.
Oh, God's sake.
Suffice to say, the new lot can't have Barnard Star.
And in case they're listening, they've fallen into our trap very nicely.
As they would say from Star Wars, from the Cameron, it's a trap.
It's a trap.
It is a trap. But other than that, Waz, it's great to hear from you.
Yes, it's all nice to
And you're doing well?
People. Yep.
And life is awesome as usual.
Yeah, you can say that to a degree.
Yeah. So, do you have any words for our listener?
Which one and how many?
Well, there are 3 words with a hashtag.
For the mug.
Awesome. Right, Palantir.
Yes, sir.
Over to you, sir.
I think we've been through all of the punters. Are we going to go and talk to each other? We have to ask that question. Do we have any?
Right, Amelia, are you awesome?
I am always awesome.
Right, Palantir, are you awesome?
I'll manage.
Commander Chicks, are you awesome?
It's a really overused word, isn't it? Really is.
Yeah, but
Awesome
are you
sauce
full
is a
of
really
awe?
underused word,
Yes.
I feel.
Underused?
Awesome sauce. It's just like the word awesome, but with sauce on the end.
It does go. Awesome sauce does work.
Are
yes,
you Lego Movie awesome?
Lego? Well, I've never seen it, but I guess so. I like Lego.
Yeah, exactly. Watch the movie and then watch the Batman Lego movie.
I don't like Lego on the carpet at 2 o'clock in the morning in the dark.
Pew, 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 pew in Batman Lego movie awesome.
Yes.
Right, okay. Flossy.
Yes.
Are you awesome? I don't need to ask that question, but are you?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Apology, officer.
I am fine and dandy and tickety boo.
Which is awesome.
No, it's fine and dandy and tickety boo.
And is the entire studio full of happy birthday awesome?
Oh, it's full of happy birthdayness, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's last week as well.
On that basis,
yeah,
Palantir,
last week as well.
Yes, sir.
we are ready to move on.
Okay. Thank you very much, everybody in the green room. That has been absolutely marvellous. It's really nice to get back and
By
talk
the way,
to everybody.
Palantir,
Yes, sir.
are you awesome?
Always have been.
Okay.
Goes without saying.
Obviously.
Obviously.
He's slowly turning into Cecil, have you noticed?
What do you mean
I have
slowly?
been drinking most of the evening.
It's getting there.
Put those
it's getting
down.
there.
I've just had to ask two of the crew by private message. Is he hammered?
Yeah. Oh no.
I'm
That's
actually
an imperial hammer to you, sir.
I'm just wondering if we're going to finish this podcast on the same day it started.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's a no, isn't it?
This one is not fitting on a C60, I can tell you that.
evening.
You're going to have to turn this one over. Well, I think we've had a marvellous time. And I think that we should tell Chicks to take his headphones off.
Are you pushing a button about this one? I need to say it personally?
No, it's all. No, it's all.
Oh, no, it's been randomised, don't
yes,
you?
it's randomised. Oh, yes, this is.
You dare randomise me?
Oh, yes,
I'm
you
very
wait.
upset about being
Just you
randomised.
wait. Just you wait. Okay. In that case, I say thank you very much, everybody. Thanks to the crew, and thanks to all our guests. And we'll be back same time, same space channel.
You think that? We won't be.
Much shorter show.
It's going to be an hour different next year.
At least.
I mean,
yes,
next week.
Yes. That doesn't mean you can be the show at hour. So, 1, 2, 3, 4.
For the mug!
For the mug!
For the mug!
You smell of fish.
Journey too long, no cargo too small. Profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We're taking anything, anytime, anywhere. Loading all the teen out to the brim with the rest for the more. For the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, everybody sing the trucker song. Flossy always seems to crash into the sun. Skibble lies the pilot on the Xbox One. Having out the free, you know, leads us well. Trucking across the galaxy, now everybody out for the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the trucker song. For the more, for the more, for the more. You know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the trucker song. So give me a large path that I can land on, and I'll give you cargo and sing you my song. No point 22 light years to go, cruising to no journey too long, no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We're taking anything, anytime, anywhere. So shout it out loud, like you don't even care. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the Hutton Truckers song. For the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the Hutton Truckers song.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the show. Everybody's buggered off now, so why don't you bugger off too?
Seamless.